Madam, and thank you. I would like to thank the Sikkim Judicial Academy for this wonderful opportunity to come once again, come and be a part of this training program. May I remind you all that the Sikkim Judicial Academy has been conducting such training programs for the past many years. I feel it is around 10 years now. And I'm very sure that many people, many of our staff members, many of our colleagues, our technical people, and not only from the judicial background, but from other departments, they've also gained a lot from such training programs. And I do hope that we all, whoever's gathered here, we all take something away from this training program. And for this opportunity, I would like to thank the Sikkim Judicial Academy. I believe for this room, our administrative officer is heading the training program. So I am grateful on behalf of the participants and on behalf of the resource person. We are grateful for this opportunity. Are you all okay with Nepali or English? Anything? Okay. First, what I would like to know is the training program, the schedule. You know this schedule; it is there, and I would like to know, like, what is your job profile? In the you don't need to get up. You can sit down, and it's a very informal.
I'm NSC development 7th grade.
Okay. Station at Gangtok or at High Court, Honorable High Court. Oh, okay. And so subjects that I have before me, you must be aware that the subjects that are here, it is not possible for me to theoretically explain it to you, because you being developers, you know the problems that we face once we sit down on a computer and on a console and start doing it. What I give theoretical is I give you an option which is 100% feasible, but once you start doing it, we have a 50-50 chance of being 100% success or not. Okay. What I would like to take you through today is, I have the same subjects, but I would like to take you through the human part of it. Okay. I am on the subject. I am also on the subject of why it is required, and if we do it correctly, what happens then? And if we do it well, who gets to gain? And in all of this, what is our purpose over here? Like, we are all being paid to do something. काम गरोस् भनेर हामीलाई पैसा दिइरहनु भएको छ सरकारले, अनि सरकारले हामीलाई आफ्नो जब रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटी दिइरहनु भएको छ। तपाईहरुको लागि कोडिङ दिनु भएको छ भने हाम्रो लागि यो सबै काम दिइरहनु भएको छ। अनि यो गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ प्रब्लम्सहरु के आउँछ, अनि प्रब्लम्सलाई कसरी सल्भ गर्न सक्छौं हामीले, त्यो चाहिँ म तपाईहरुलाई I would like to take you through that. And तपाईले kindly एकछिन, it's a very short program, एक साढे एक बजीसम्म सकिहाल्छौं. I think it's hardly 2 hours को program हो. When I'm in front of coders अगाडि बस्दाखेरि म त I'm not a coder. Coding चाहिँ I did it 2000 तिर गरेको लागि Y2K को टाइममा है. त्यति बेला I have forgotten my coding because हैन, एक वर्ष तपाईले छुएन भने you will forget coding and I am out of date. But I know what I do is मेरो job profile भन्छु तपाईहरुलाई. What I do is I know now what I can through my years of experience, what I can do is, when I see a problem, when a judicial officer or any officer tells me the problem that they face, I know that there is a solution to it. The coders, the backend, they will be able to find it. I know, and I know that how it is supposed to go about, and I know that the result, the end result, what is the end result that is required. किनभने मैले तपाईहरु कोडर्सको हातमा छोड्दै भने त I will only have black and white, है. तपाईले त you will not care about the GUI, you will not want to beautify it, because coding is a very tedious subject नि, हैन. So मेरो काम चाहिँ त्यहाँ आउँछ. मेरो काम चाहिँ के हुन्छ भने I ask my coders to do it. कोडर्सले गरेर अलिक हेर्नु लायकको बनाउने काम मेरो हो। अनि त्यसमा अझै थपेर मान्छेले बुझ्ने नन कोडर्स नन टेक्निकलले बुझ्ने काम त्यो मेरो हो काम। सो इन अ वे आई एम अ गो बिट्विन अ फेसिलिटेटर जस्तो हुन्छ। सो द्याट इज वाट आई डु। दो आई एम फ्रम अ टेक्निकल ब्याकग्राउन्ड बट सिस्टम कोडिङमा बसेर मैले गरेको छुइनँ। द्याट बिङ सेड what I do know is, I do know the importance of the subjects that are displayed as यहाँ अगाडि. These are very very important subjects. अब आयु तपाईहरु ई कमिटीसँग एनआईसीले ई कमिटीसँग तपाई जोड्नु भएको छ नि त है। आई थिंक यु आर प्रोभाइडिङ सपोर्ट टु द अनरेबल कोर्ट्स, सबोर्डिनेट कोर्ट अर द हाई कोर्ट है, गर्नुहुन्छ तपाईले। सो जति पनि ई कमिटीको इस्युज हुन्छ गौतम वर्मा ज्यूसँग तपाईले कोअर्डिनेट गर्नु। आई थिंक ही इज योर कोअर्डिनेटर। सो ही अल्सो डज द सेम जब एज मी। तपाईहरु चाहिँ ब्याकबोन पछाडिको है। सो आई थिंक ठिक मान्छे पाए जस्तो लाग्यो आज एकाडेमीले ठिक मान्छेले पक्रिनु भएछ। किनभने हामीहरूलाई प्रब्लम हुँदाखेरि मलाई भन्छ, मैले गौतम वर्मालाई भन्छु, गौतम वर्मा तपाईलाई भन्नुहुन्छ। लास्टमा बोल्नु मान्छे चाहिँ तपाईहरु रहेछ, हामीले भन्नुपर्ने है। अब म तपाईहरुलाई यो जुन चाहिँ हाम्रो यो हेर्नुस् है, हार्डवेयर एन्ड सफ्टवेयर मेन्टेनेन्स एउटा, डेटा रेप्लिकेसन 2टा, डेटा मोनिटरिङ 3टा, बीसी इक्विपमेन्ट्स 4वटा, ल्यान्ड कनेक्सन भनेर 5वटा भनेर छ है। इफ यु नो, यु मस्ट बी अवेयर द्याट दिस इज द बेसिक थिङ है। वेन एभर यु टक अबाउट कम्प्युटराइजेसन अर इनेबलिङ एनी आइसिटी इनेबल गर्नुपर्छ भने चाहिँ दिस थिङ्स कम इन्टु एकाउन्ट। हार्डवेयर भयो, सफ्टवेयर भयो, भिडियो कन्फरेन्स भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट, सबै भएपछि देन यु टक अबाउट त्यो सबै तपाईको सामान आएपछि त त्यो रुमभित्र नै के भन्छ त्यो प्रोग्राम मात्रै बसेको त व्हाट इज द युज हैन। हाम्रो काम चाहिँ के हो भने अहिले जुडिसियरीको काम चाहिँ टु मेक इट ट्रान्सपेरेन्ट। सो टु मेक इट ट्रान्सपेरेन्ट इट हेज टु गो आउट अफ द कोर्ट बिल्डिङ्स, आउट अफ द कोर्ट कम्प्लेक्स। once we start sending out data and we send it to the NJDG, National Judicial Data Grid. Once we start sending data out, then this thing about replication, data monitoring comes into account. मेरो विचारमा चाहिँ replication and data monitoring चाहिँ if I think it is just a GUI को टर्म जस्तो मात्रै लाग्छ क्या। किनभने विदाउट पछाडिको तपाईको all this back end काम नभएको भए त there would be no data replication, there would be no data monitoring, NJDG would be blank or it would be inaccurate. As of now, if I speak for my court, Gangtok, Mangan, Pakyung also, and all our courts, my friends in Namchi, Gezing, we can say very very strongly that the data that we are uploading to NJDG is 100% accurate. Accuracy, we can say that it is very accurate. The reason being, it is a very simple process. I do not know whether you know it or not, how the process works, but I would like to let you know how it goes about so that you understand how it goes. What happens is, हाम्रो काम चाहिँ छ NJDG मा, end of the day NJDG मा data replication, this thing comes into account. Data replication गर्नुपर्छ भनेर आउँछ. So you know that we have a certain code, we have a command, executable file छ, we run that executable file. Very सजिलो नसजिलो बनाइदिएको छ, 1 2 3 4 whatever we want, number 3 चेक गर्यो, data replicate भइहाल्छ है। Once that goes, then हामीलाई चाहिँ what we do is we just click on that. We do run the thing, टर्मिनलमा गएर रन गर्नुपर्छ, रन गरिकन maintenance.sh कमान्ड हुन्छ, sh गरेर रन गर्छ। then we have those options 1 2 3 4 5 6, हामीलाई we are required to do number 3, that is to replicate the daily proceedings, the court orders. Proceedings भनेको अब आज कोर्टमा जानुभयो, नेक्स्ट डे दिनुभएको छ कोर्टले, जजले दिनुभएको छ, त्यो नेक्स्ट डे पनि त इट इज रेकर्डेड इन द CIS. यु आर अवेयर अफ CIS हैन। सो CIS युज गर्छ, CIS मा डेट दिन्छ नेक्स्ट, एन्ड देन एट द एन्ड अफ द डे स्टेनोग्राफर्सहरूले के गर्नुहुन्छ, डे टु डे अर्डर्सहरू उहाँले अपलोड गर्नुहुन्छ, फिक्स द डिजिटल सिग्नेचर एन्ड अपलोड इट। आज भएन भने बाई टुमोरो अर डे आफ्टर त उहाँले गरिहाल्नुहुन्छ। सो द्याट इज द जब अफ द कोर्ट। हाम्रो काम के हुन्छ अब, हाम्रो काम हुन्छ टु रेप्लिकेट द डेटा, द्याट इज वाइ द टर्म रेप्लिकेसन इज हियर है। We execute number 3 through the maintenance.sh command, execute number 3, data is replicated to NJDG. why I am saying that I can vouch for the accuracy भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ number one, once next date is given, next date for the advocates or the litigants to come, courtलाई दिनुहुन्छ नि next date आउनु भनेर, that is immediately entered in the CIS. उहाँले हेर्नुहुन्छ, गर्नुहुन्छ. So there is no error apart from human error, typing error, clerical error हुन्छ, that is there, that can be there. त्यो हुन्छ number one, error date. Number two, judgment orders. त्यो त उहाँले उयो हुँदै हुँदैन. There are no issues over there. Until and unless the one who is doing it is very careless or is not in the right frame of mind, त्यति बेला मात्रै error हुन्छ यो. So as far as we are concerned, the courts, we are very sure of data accuracy. And that is our job, to see that the data that is being updated is accurate. Now, पछाडिपट्टि तपाईको जब हामी रेप्लिकेसनको कुरा गर्छौं, ब्याक एन्डमा आउँछ e-committee को काम हुन्छ, then NIC को काम हुन्छ, the thing that you provide support for us, So what we do is now, once data is replicated, data goes to the NJDG, and NJDG being a public forum, हाम्रो transparency को काम खत्म भइहाल्यो. We are very happy that data is transparent. तर मैले याद गरेको चाहिँ that doesn't only suffice. Once our data is transparent, we have done the replication, our job is finished. We cannot sit down and have a good time or relax. किनभने घरमा गएर पनि sometimes we get messages from the advocate say, मेरो त यस्तो यस्तो डेट थियो त, यहाँ त अर्को डेट रहेछ त भन्छ. Number one, या त they will say, मेरो यस्तो यस्तो अर्डर थियो, like आजको अर्डरमा यो त उल्टा अर्डर आएछ त भन्छ. They will say that, Then now what मेरो काम के हुन्छ then? The technical मेरो भन्दाखेरि I am talking about the technical team. Our job would be to then log into the NJDG through our logins and check data ठिक छ कि छैन, हाम्रोबाट पो एरर भयो कि, या त हामीले जब एरर अपलोड गर्दाखेरि कनेक्सन पो अफ थियो कि, or टाइपिङ एरर पो भयो कि भनेर. मोस्ट अफ द टाइम हामीले याद गर्दाखेरि एडभोकेट्सहरूले के गर्नु या लिटिगेट्सले के गर्नु भएको हुन्छ भने अब आजको डेट हेर्दाखेरि हिजोको डेट हेरिरहेको हुन्छ. बिकज उहाँहरूले दे चेक थ्रु द फोन्स लिन, अब फोन्समा त्यो माथि तल क्लिक हुन्छ क्या, एन्ड दे विल नट बदर टु चेक द डेट्स. नर्मली उहाँहरूले नि हतारमा हुन्छ नि त, एउटा चेक गर्नुहुन्छ, ला छैन रहेछ भन्छ, देन दे कल, सो दिस डेज वाट वी डु इज फोन आउँछ, देन आई चेक एन्ड आई टेल देम ओके यस्तो यस्तो भएको रहेछ, आई सेन्ड द स्क्रिनसट, स्क्रिनसट गरेर लु यो डेटमा चेक गर्नुहोस् त, मैले यहाँ देखेँ यस्तो यस्तो रहेछ भन्छ. न वाइ आई एम टेलिङ यु दिस भन्दाखेरि आई थिङ्क दिस अल्सो फल्स अन्डर हाम्रो जुन चाहिँ यो के भन्छ रेप्लिकेसन भन्छ नि, रेप्लिकेसन भन्छ. अब हामीले त काम गरिरहेको छ नि, यु आर डुइङ अ जब इन यर कोटिङ पार्ट, बट समटाइम्स इस्युज आउँछ बियोन्ड आवर कन्ट्रोल, विच इज नट आवर फल्ट. एन्ड देन त्यति बेला क्वेसन आउँदाखेरि आई थिङ्क इट इज आवर जब to revisit what they have done. के उनीहरूको steps चाहिँ we need to trace back and see like हाम्रो त problem छैन, किनभने कोडिङमा त I think there should be no problem, because once you finish the coding there is always a dry run हुन्छै हुन्छ. Then you have your flow chart कुद्छ, के गर्छ, कहाँ जान्छ. I do not think codingमा there is a problem. You might have a different display or the end result might be very different from what you want. बट एरर भनेको त मैले भन्छु नि, एरर भन्ने चिज त आयो भने त इनिसियल स्टेपमै बन्द भइहाल्छ भनेको नि. अब कमा विल मेक एन एरर, हाउ क्यान पिपल भनेको क्या. सो कतिवटा एरर चाहिँ इट इज नट आवर पार्ट, इट इज द पार्ट अफ द पिपल हु आर चेकिङ इट. सो वी हेभ टु थिङ्क फ्रम देयर पोइन्ट अफ भ्यू अल्सो. उनीहरू त दे आर नट टेक्निकली साउन्ड पिपल विचर, उहाँहरू दे आर साउन्ड इन देयर लिगल ब्याकग्राउन्ड. हामी त्यतिको हुँदैन. सो हाम्रो काम चाहिँ उनीहरूले गर्दैन, उनीहरूको काम हामीले गर्न सक्दैन. सो मैले चाहिँ के भनेको भन्दा वी हेभ टु whenever we are talking about all these things, we have to see things from their point of view, though they might not see उनीहरूको हामीलाई चाहिँ from their point of view, but we have to see that. किन भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ मलाई सधैँ भन्छ कोर्टमा मान्छेहरूले कि टेक्निकल मान्छेहरूसँग डिल गर्ने चाहिँ सजिलो छ भन्छ. आई डोन्ट नो वाइ दे से इट क्या, बिकज दे से टेक्निकलहरू सिधा कुरा गर्छ अरे, वी डोन्ट गो अराउन्ड द बुस, बिटिङ अराउन्ड द बुस. क्या केही प्रब्लम छ, यु तपाईँलाई मैले केही प्रब्लम भयो भने यु विल जस्ट ट्राई एन्ड फिक्स द प्रब्लम. तपाईँ यु वोन्ट गो फ्रम द साइड कि यसले यो भन्दै थियो अरे, उसले यो भन्दै थियो, यु वोन्ट लिसन टु दोज थिङ्स. सो So हाम्रो काम चाहिँ that is how we should work. हाम्रो त्यो इन्भाइरोमेन्टलाई बनाउनु लागि नि. Okay. So when we are talking about replication, only the part of technically replicate गरेको मात्रै चाहिँ it doesn't fall into replication. How we handle after we replicate, how we handle queries, that also falls under replication. Now, why I have not why I put you through replication part is because मेरो विचारमा चाहिँ हाम्रो गरेको काम चाहिँ नि लास्टमा चाहिँ हामीले काम गरे कि गरेन चाहिँ रेप्लिकेसनले मात्रै हुन्छ है. तपाईहरुले 24 आवर्स काम दिनुस्, नो वन विल सी दैट. 1 घण्टा काम गर्नुस्, नो वन विल जज यु. लास्टमा चाहिँ तपाईको रेप्लिकेसन भयो, भयो, काम सक्यो. नो वन विल आस्क यु हाउ मेनी आवर्स यु स्पेन्ड, हाउ मेनी डेज यु स्पेन्ड, कति तपाई दुःख पर्यो, कति बिमार भयो, नो वन विल आस्क. सो द्याट्स व्हाई रेप्लिकेसन पार्ट चाहिँ मेरो विचारमा चाहिँ it is one of the most important things for a technical person. Though we do not do the coding part, right? But since you all do the coding part, so I believe that is your result. तपाईको काम success or failure चाहिँ त्यसैबाट हुन्छ. About this hardware and software maintenance, you might feel it is out of your job profile. I do not know. तपाईले माथि एनआईसी मा हार्डवेयरहरु पनि हेर्नुपर्छ अल राउन्डर ए है
सफ्टवेयर हार्डवेयरको सम नलेज सफ्टवेयरको त
ट्रबल सुटिङ पनि गर्नुहुन्छ है. एनआईसी मा त भएको नभएको सबै टेक्निकल थिङ छ है. आई फिल यो हु विल ट्रबल सुट हुज हार्डवेयर यो एभ्रीवन मस्ट बी पण्डितहरु त्यहाँ त.
There is another separate team also there. For hardware, network and hardware.
Yes.
They are dedicated for VC team.
Yes, I know VC team. Yes. Okay. So, what I wanted to come with today is, I don't want to bore you with saying hardware चाहिँ योलाई चाहिँ हार्डवेयर भन्छ, योलाई चाहिँ सफ्टवेयर भन्छ, अनि हार्डवेयर बिग्रियो भने चाहिँ यसरी गर्नुपर्छ. No, I don't want to do that. किनभने I think we are all earning our living doing that, right? And मैले आएर तपाईलाई, if I tell that to you, it will be a waste of the time, the opportunity that's given to us. What I would like to discuss or try and speak to you about would be when we have a hardware issue, courtma or in your organization, right? Gharma, what do you do? The first thing that we do, okay, hardware issue भयो रे भन्छ अरे हैन. अब कोर्टमा त लु you have your own hardware team भने लु you say लु मेरो काम नि यो हार्डवेयरलाई पठाइदेऊ, हार्डवेयर सेक्सन इन्जिनियरलाई पठाइदेऊ हैन. You send it to the hardware team. ठीक छ. But when you go to your boss, a boss को त सिस्टम बिग्रेपछि त हार्डवेयर बिग्रेपछि त you can't say म भन्दा राम्रो त यो छ नि भनेर हैन. आफ्नो खुट्टामा त्यो एक्स हालेको जस्तो हुन्छ हैन. म त I am all rounder त देखाउनै पर्छ नि. That is the way of life. To get better grading, to get better ACR remarks, you have to do that. That is our job profile. So, kahi pani hardware bigriyo, lo hardware ma issue bhayo bhane, what is the first thing that you think of, honestly? I would like to know, like, kasto soch kyo.
Check the power cable. We see initially whether current is coming or not, because all our electronics parts we need power supply.
Yes.
We go for the switchboard, cable is working fine or not. Then we try to on.
That is the basic thing, right? Actually, that is the basic thing that everyone is supposed to do, but no one does it. Very frankly speaking. हामी पनि हार्डवेयर बिग्रियो भन्दाखेरि पहिला हार्डवेयरमा जान्छ नि त है. We go to सिधै हार्डवेयर अन गर्नु खोज्छ, पछाडी खोल्छ, लास्टमा भरे हेर्छ कि like you said, पावरै अन हुँदैन कि त पछाडी केबल खुस्किरहेको, because the cable is not put in nicely, हैन. So now what I would like to what I'm going to is like, I think whenever there is a problem like this, we have to have our own presence of mind in such situations. Sometimes we get too excited because knowing that it is a very small issue. मैले यो अस्ति पनि यो issue I have done this, solved it. मेरो रुममा पनि यस्तै भएको थियो, I have solved it. Now since it is my boss's system, I'm going to solve it in 1 minute भनेर म देखाइदिन्छु भनेर हुन्छ मनमा हैन. सबै भयो नेचुरल. अरे मेरोमा पनि मेरो जुनियरहरू आएर मेरो प्रब्लम भयो भन्दाखेरि टक 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 गरेर कस्तो मजा आउँछ होइन. आई हेभ रिच सम पोइन्ट अफ मेरो करियरमा पुगेछ भन्ने हुन्छ नि. एभ्री वान इज नो वान इज इम्युन टु दिस थिङ होइन. सो वान्स अ हार्डवेयर इस्यु आयो भने चाहिँ टेक्निकललाई त वी हेभ नो इस्युज. वी विल से ओके लु तपाईँ यो हार्डवेयर गर्दै गऱ्यो कि इन द मिन टाइम आई हेभ दिस जब, आई विल डु दिस, I will give you time. You do that. I will do it here. Okay. Otherwise, what we say is otherwise my printer is having issues. While you're fixing it, give me network access. Very easy for us because we know options. We know that you can directly print it to your printer, or the organization has an facility for network printing. That we know and we utilize that. We are technical eventually. But what happens to those people who are not technical? I have seen court bichara stenographers, every minute counts for them. Say a printer is not working for them. They will रिसाएर आउँछ नि त होइन. 6 जना 7 जना कम्प्युटरको मान्छे छ, एउटा प्रिन्टर पनि ठिक छैन भन्दै. द्याट इज देयर भेरी भेरी भ्यालिड है उनीहरूको होइन. त्यति बेला चाहिँ हाउ डु यु रियाक्ट नाउ? आई वान्ट टु टक अबाउट अल दिस थिङ्स बिकज आई डोन्ट वान्ट टु टक अबाउट हाउ टु रिपेयर अ प्रिन्टर. कहाँ केबल हार्नु, ड्राइभर अपडेट कसरी गर्नु. आई थिङ्क द्याट वुड बी वेस्ट अफ आवर टाइम. सो मेरोमा चाहिँ अफिसमा नर्मली वाट ह्यापन्स नो, पहिला जोइन गर्दा त आइटीहरू फुर्के हुन्छ है. आइटी पिपल दे आर भेरी के भन्छ इगोइस्टिक पहिला जोइन गर्दा चाहिँ. बिकज यति थुप्रो पढेर आएको हुन्छ कि आइटीहरू. दे लर्न पहिला इन्जिनियरिङै गरेको हुन्छ होइन. 2 इयर्स त इन्जिनियरिङ गर्छ होइन. 2 इयर्स इन्जिनियरिङ गर्छ एन्ड देन आफ्टर द्याट टु इयर्स यु डु हार्डकोर कोडिङ गर्छ. यु गो एन्ड स्टार्ट अबाउट युर हार्डवेयर एन्ड आफ्टर द्याट देन यु मस्ट हेभ वर्कड इन सम ह्युज बिग कम्पनी होइन. पुरा फेमस कम्पनीजमा काम गरेर आएको हुन्छ. देन यु कम एन्ड यु गो टु एन अफिस एन्ड अफिसमा जाँदाखेरि देन यु डोन्ट हेभ अ प्लेस टु सिट राम्रो होइन. त्यो प्राइभेट कम्पनी जस्तो पनि हुँदैन. देयर इज नो टाइम. लन्च टाइम पनि छैन, बिहानको आउने टाइम पनि छैन, रातिको जाने टाइम पनि छैन. आई डोन्ट नो वेदर यु गेट के भन्छ एक्स्ट्रा आवर्स. प्राइभेटमा त यु गेट अल एक्स्ट्रा आवर्स. सो द्याट थिङ इज देयर इन आवर माइन्ड. एन्ड वेन अ नन टेक्निकल गाई कम्स इन साउटिङ कि मेरो प्रिन्टर काम गरेन भनेर, देन वाट डु यु थिङ्क द फर्स्टमा वाट डु यु थिङ्क? यो चाहिँ आफूले 6 वर्ष इन्जिनियरिङ पढेर आयो, यो कम्प्युटरको प्रिन्टर बनाउने मेरो काम हो भन्छ नि होइन. द्याट इज सबैको. बट वी हेभ टु रिमेम्बर द्याट फर अ नन टेक्निकल गाई, हामीहरू त आउँदाखेरि त उहाँले त इट्स लाइक के भन्छ त है, टुल बक्स आएको जस्तो देख्छ नि होइन. स्विच आर्मी नाइफ आएको जस्तो लाग्छ उहाँहरूलाई. यु माइट बी अ कोडर, दे डोन्ट केयर नि त. यु आर अ कम्प्युटर गाई भन्छ, सो यु नो एभ्रिथिङ त. यस, काँटी पनि ठोक भन्छ समटाइम्स. वी डु द्याट. केबल तान्नु भन्छ, वी डु द्याट. अब के गर्नु अन्त होइन. अब अर्को कुरा हुन्छ. अर्को चाहिँ आइ एम टेलिङ माई बोइज अहिले क्या हो, अफिसमा देयर आर मेनी लेडी स्टाफ हुन्छ होइन. अनि केटाहरू हुन्छ है, मस्कुलर केटाहरू हुन्छ हो. एन्ड देन प्रिन्टर बोक भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ द लेडिज आर क्यारिङ द प्रिन्टर्स एन्ड गोइङ क्या. अनि आई गिभ देम अ वर्ड आजकल चाहिँ के हो, यो सिभलरी भन्छ होइन. त्यो मिनिङ हेर तिमीहरू भन्छ क्या, बिहान आएर त्यो कम्प्युटरमा गुगलमा हालेर चाहिँ त्यो सिभलरीको वर्डको मिनिङ हेर एन्ड देन यु टेल मी वाट इट इज भन्छु होइन. अनि हिजो अस्ति चाहिँ एकजनाले हेरेर आएछ. अन्त उसले भन्दै यो वर्ड त कस्तो दामी रहेछ नि, म्यानली बनायो मलाई अरे क्या. अब मैले भनेको अन्त आई थिङ्क द्याट इज द कोर्स अफ नेचर होइन. वेन देयर आर लेडिज अराउन्ड एन्ड वेन देयर आर मेन अराउन्ड, तपाईँको त्यो के अरे फेमिनिस्ट, फर्गेट फेमिनिजम होइन. फेमिनिस्टहरू छोडिदिनुहोस्. एन्ड अफ द डे इफ 3 boys आर देयर एन्ड देयर आर 3 girls होइन. तपाईँको 3 girls आर क्यारिङ थिङ्स एन्ड 3 boys आर जस्ट सिटिङ चौकीमा बसिरहेको छ. यु माइट एज वेल वेयर स्कर्ट्स एन्ड कम भनेको नि होइन. सो द्याट इज वी हेभ टु keep that in mind. Men are always men, boys are always boys. I am not saying in a very bad sense, but I am saying in a sense that ladies are we have to respect. Respect as in you can't. I can't expect a मेरो मेरो जुनियर्सहरू लेडिजहरू छ भने फिमेल स्टाफ मेम्बर्स छ भने आई क्यान एक्सपेक्ट देम टु बी क्यारिङ माई कम्प्युटर हो कुटकुटी लाग्छ नि होइन यु हेभ टु एटलिस्ट से होइन आई विल डु इट भन्नु चाहिँ होइन उनीहरूले समटाइम्स त्यसै नो 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 मै गर्छु भने चाहिँ लु गर भन्छ एटलिस्ट अफर त गर्नुपर्छ है सो द्याट इज ओके द्याट इज हाउ वी हेभ टु सो क्या टेक्निकल बोइज वी हेभ टु सो द्याट ओके हामी गरेको वी नो एभ्रिथिङ as far as computers are concerned, but we also know how to deal with people because I think technical चाहिँ हाम्रोमा चाहिँ केटाहरू के छ भने माई बोइजहरू अल 2जना 3जना कोडर्सहरू छ क्या उनीहरूको काम के हो उनीहरूलाई इफ आई गिभ देम गुड टेबल एन्ड अ चेयर एसी छ भने टाइम टाइममा चिया पायो भने दे आर भेरी ह्याप्पी होइन दे डोन्ट वान्ट टु मिङ्गल अराउन्ड बाहिर जानु मन पर्दैन अरे लन्च ब्रेकमा जान्छ दे स्मोक एन्ड कम त्यति हो अब why I am telling this is because I tell them अब तिमीहरू त त्यो चौकीमा बस्यो भने त त्यो भिटामिन डी पनि पाउँदैन नि त होइन यु हेभ टु गो आउट मान्छेसँग बोल्नु पऱ्यो अदरवाइज त के तिमीहरू होल लाइफ सिङ्गल बस्ने भन्छ नि होइन यु हेभ टु गो आउट मान्छेसँग भेट्नु पऱ्यो काम गर टाइममा काम गर टाइममा जाऊ आफ्नो त्यो जुन चाहिँ नेचर गिभन उयो छ आफूलाई त्यो त यु हेभ टु टेक केयर अफ द्याट नो वान एल्स विल कम एन्ड टेक इट ओके सो दिस इज वाट आइम टकिङ अबाउट मेन्टेनेन्स This is not only hardware and software maintenance. This is maintenance of bonding. Office, you have to always bond. Be it by helping them out, hardware maintenance, as I said. Hardware, whenever we come, we are always taught. They always think that we know everything. But sometimes we don't know. कोही जनाले त मैले याद गरेको छु some of my boys screw पनि खोल्नु सक्दैन हैन बिचारा पढे त आएन दे आर लाइक के अरे एमसिए ग्रेजुएट छ है बी इन्जिनियरिङ गर्छ स्क्रु पनि खोल्नु आउने त्यो स्टार स्क्रु हुन्छ नि बिचराहरू अब मैले सोचेको किन भन्दाखेरि काम अफिसबाट दे स्टडिड पढेर आयो बिचरा त्यहाँदेखि अफिसमा चाहिँ कामै पाएन नि त्यस्तो डेस्क जब पायो उनीहरूले अनि दे डोन्ट नो अब कम्प्युटर त भन्छ खोल भन्छ खोल्नै सक्दैन दे अलवेज लुक इलेक्ट्रिसियनलाई खोज भन्छ होइन सो मेन्टेनेन्स हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ वी हेभ टु बी अलराउन्डर्स वी हेभ टु सी and we have to think from the other points of perspective पनि हेर्नुपर्छ हामीले what they think of us for us it is a very easy thing computer printer टिप पल्टाऊ पछाडि खोल त्यो कार्ट्रिज निकाल त्यो भित्र चिप हेर त्यो रोलर ब्लेड हेर इट्स सो इजी फर अस टु डु नि हैन बट फर देम इट इज भेरी डिफिकल्ट द्याट इज अ ह्युज टास्क फर देम जस्ट टु ओपन त्यो इङ्क हाल्नु नै उनीहरूलाई धेरै साह्रो पर्छ दे डोन्ट नो विच स्लट टु गो इन क्या सो थिङ्स विच आर भेरी इजी फर अस it might be very difficult for them. So we have to see from their point of view. Maintenance गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ sometimes maintenance is not the problem उनीहरूको sometimes they having a different kind of problem हैन मान्छेको just imagine बिहान मान्छे आएर चाहिँ रुटिन काम गरिरहेको मान्छेले चाहिँ someone comes and says मेरो कम्प्युटर चल्दैन मेरो प्रिन्टर चल्दैन when you go and see अनै गरेको छैन हैन so just think रुटिन काम गरिरहेको चाहिँ why are they not doing that routine job होइन there must be something wrong with them they must be facing some problem and you can't go and shout at them I can't go पहिला we used to do that है टेक्निकल हामी पहिला जोइन गर्दा यस्तो रिस उठ्छ होइन काम गरिरहेको हुन्छ त्यो मुनि अनै गरेको हुँदैन अन्त कराककै द होल कोट इज हेल्ड अप होइन कम्प्युटर अन भएन अरे प्रिन्टर अन भएन अरे कुनै के भएन अरे हामी आउँछ हेर्छ त्यहाँदेखि स्विच अन गरेको छैन त्यहाँदेखि के भन्छ पछाडि नेटवर्क केबल हालेको छैन द्याट इज अ भेरी इरिटेटिङ थिङ फर अस है बट वी हेभ टु मैले बादमा भेरी लेट आई रियलाइज इट भेरी लेट द्याट वी हेभ टु सी के चाहिँ भएको थियो होला मेबी द स्टेनोग्राफर वाज ह्याभिङ अ प्रब्लम सबै घरमा प्रब्लम हुन्छ यस दोज आर अल स्मल थिङ्स फर अस क्या विल चाहिँ भइहाल्छ भने बट फर देम इट्स होइन सो only whenever we are talking about maintenance we should not think of only technical risks. We have to see from the human point of view also. Okay, so why I wanted to say this is because I feel that all of you will rise up. You will keep rising up. There is no going down. Once you rise up, you have to. I think HR पनि the very important part of life. हामी रोबोट होइन नि त we are not robots. रोबोट जस्तो काम गर्नु सक्दैन so you have to be aware of all these things their point of view there must be a problem the problem that they're facing there are so many ways of doing it and then तपाईँलाई it's not like instant you will not be thanked हैन बट बादमा चाहिँ दे विल रियलाइज इट, ओ मलाई यस्तो भएको थियो, दिस बोय ह्याड कम, यङ बोय ह्याड कम, यिनीहरूले मलाई यस्तो गरेको थिए, द्याट पर्सन ह्याड हेल्प मी अ लट, उसको मनमा बस्छ नि त होइन. सो द्याट इज वाट वी आर हियर फर, टु वर्क, टु अर्न मनी, भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट है. To work and to earn money is very important, because without working and without earning money, we do not have much standing in life unless you have a business on the side. But business, the respect that you get is when you are working for the government, and the government is not paying you to just go and get angry at people. No, the government is paying you to go and work आफ्नो काम, and also make the environment easy to work for everyone. Ease of work भन्छ नि होइन, ease of doing business भयो, द्याट इज अहिले फन्डा होइन, मन्त्र छ होइन. सो म चाहिँ भन्छु ease of business is not only for the other people to come and work with us. Ease of business is for us to also be working together. How to work together, काम कसरी सजिलो गर्नुपर्ने, that is how we should लास्टमा त्यो attempt for in life, बुझ्नुभयो. And same comes for your software maintenance. Whenever we have any issues, we should always have protocols. You are aware of protocols, okay. Like if they have a problem in establishment, they'll have a protocol. Okay, issue भयो, or your चिठी आयो भने they go through the rules, they move the file, they move a note, they you do all those things. Those are the protocols. In fact, our technical company, I believe we should all have protocols. When a hardware issue is there, or when a software issue is there, what are the protocols that you follow? Is there any protocol that you follow at NIC? NIC must have a protocol. It is a national level player.
Actually, हामी पनि के स्ट्यान्डर्ड फलो गर्छौँ. बेसिकली अब यो स्टेप्स फलो गर्दै के प्रब्लम छ भने रिजल्भ गर्नको लागि.
ओके.
एक्चुअली प्रोटोकल चाहिँ भयो
रिजल्ट ओरिएन्टेड है. So what you want is तपाईँको immediate, whatever result is there, you want to immediately intervene and try and make it better, okay. So actually speaking, maintenance त त्यही काम हो नि त होइन. त्यही कारण हामीलाई भन्छ कि टेक्निकललाई भन्छ, सबैले भन्छ, नन टेक्निकलले भन्छ कि हामीले चाहिँ यसो घुम्दैन अरे नि त होइन. जहाँ यहाँ भएको छ, यु गो टु द्याट लाइन एन्ड फिनिस द वर्क नि त. यु डोन्ट गो फ्रम द टप नि त होइन. लाइन नम्बर 1 देखि त कुद्दैन नि तपाईँ. You know that there is कहाँनिर त्यो हाइलाइट भइरहेको हुन्छ, you go there and fix it, So that is how you save time, save time, save money, and most importantly, let the system work. The system, because once the system is held up, then what happens? It is whose responsibility is it? It is not the person who has spoiled it, because you can't expect a non-technical person to understand. तपाईँले त्यो के अरे त्यो द्याट EXE फाइल तपाईँले किन गएर त्यो होम फोल्डरमा गएर वाइ डिड यु डिलिट द्याट किन भन्नु तपाईँ होइन. बिचरा उहाँहरू त यादै छैन नि त, दे वोन्ट नो. एन्ड प्लस इफ देयर इज अ मेजर इस्यु, यो चाहिँ हामीले फेस गरेको छ है. इफ देयर इज अ मेजर इस्यु नि, एन्ड उहाँहरूले इफ दे हेभ डन समथिङ रङ, दे विल नट बी एबल टु ट्रेस ब्याक, हप ब्याक गर्नु सक्दैन उनीहरूले. अब हामी सोच्छ नि, ओके बिफोर यु डिड दिस वाट डिड यु डु भन्छ नि. द्याट इज वाट वी डु होइन. टेक्निकल, ओके I went here गयो, I did this correction. यो करेक्सन गर्ने बित्तिकै यो रिजल्ट रङ भयो मेरो भन्छ होइन. द्याट्स वाट वी से. एन्ड देन वेन वी हेभ टु फिक्स इट, वी से ओके म पछाडि आई गो फ्रम बटम अप जान्छु नि त होइन. द्याट्स वाट वी नर्मली डु, बिकज वी आर वायर्ड लाइक द्याट नि त. यु गो, यु रिमेम्बर द स्टेप्स, एन्ड वेन यु कम ब्याक यु फलो द स्टेप्स ब्याक. नन टेक्निकलले यु विल नेभर गेट द्याट आन्सर. सोध्नुहोस् त, कहाँ डिलिट गऱ्यो भन्छ, यो कहाँ गएको थियो कि त्यो डिलिट गर्दै भन्छ, नाउ कहाँ गयो होइन. So you can't expect them to give you an answer which will make your life easy or which will make your job easy. That's not how it is done. Unfair, but that is life. So हामीले चाहिँ we have always, पहिला चाहिँ हाम्रो एउटा रङ के भयो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ बिगिनिङ अफ आवर करियरमा चाहिँ when this ICT enablement was just happening in Sikkim. त्यति बेला चाहिँ I was appointed त्यति बेला है. मलाई पनि याद थिएन. I will tell you होइन, so that you understand what happened. सिस्टम आयो, पुरा आयो सिस्टम यस्तो होइन है. सिस्टम त्यो पहिलाको त्यो यस्तो भुइँमा राखेर रेक्ट्याङ्गुलर हुन्छ, त्यसको माथि मनिटर राखेर ब्ल्याक एन्ड व्हाइट मनिटर. यु रिमेम्बर द्याट, क्याथोड CRT स्क्रिन हो, त्यस्तो आयो. अब त्यो आयो त्यहाँदेखि लिमिटेड क्यापेसिटी विथ फ्लपी डिस्क आयो होइन, फ्लपी डिस्कमा आउँछ। अनि त्यहाँदेखि आउँदाखेरि चाहिँ अब सबैजना सो एक्साइटेड कम्प्युटर आयो भनेर। अब के आयो कम्प्युटर होइन, कस्तो महँगो घरमा त किन्नै सक्दैन, अफिसमा मात्रै देख्न सक्छ कम्प्युटर होइन। त्यहाँदेखि चाहिँ त्यो आएपछि चाहिँ त्यहाँदेखि आफूले हेऱ्यो 5-6 महिना त आफैलाई लाग्छ होइन टु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड वाट दे, बिकज वी आर टकिङ अबाउट विन्डोज, दे आर टकिङ अबाउट लिनक्स नाउ। अचानक नाउ आइम जम्पिङ ओएस होइन, 3-4 months 4-5 months आफैलाई टाइम लाग्छ हेर्नु। हेऱ्यो त्यहाँदेखि यु सेट युजर्स, आई सेट युजर्स, टङ्की युजर त्यो काम गर्नु थाल्यो अफिसमा होइन। सबैजना विथ ग्रेट डिफिकल्टी टाइपराइटरबाट दे सिफ्टेड टु इलेक्ट्रोनिक कम्प्युटरमा सिफ्ट गरे। अब उनीहरूले देन दे स्टार्टेड टु से यो टाइपराइटर जस्तो छैन अरे। वाइ भन्दाखेरि बिकज टाइपराइटरमा दे डु सो युज टु लिसनिङ टु द्याट साउन्ड, ट्याप 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 ट्याप, कम्प्युटरमा ट्याप 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 छैन। अब त्यो उनीहरूलाई त्यसमै अब दे आर एङ्ग्री एट द्याट, अब दे इज नो साउन्ड। उनीहरूको त्यो आई थिङ्क द्याट वाज बिकज भिजुअल एन्ड अडियो त्यो कोअर्डिनेट हुँदै थियो नि त, वेन कम्प्युटर्स केम इन नो अडियो। अब सो दे ह्याड अ प्रब्लम विथ द्याट बिचरा। आई डिन्ट अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड त्यति बेला, आई वाज भेरी एङ्ग्री, एडमेन्ट हुनै पर्छ, नोट लेखेर हुन्छ कि के अरे अफिसबाट निकालेर हुन्छ कि बुढो स्टाफ होस् कि यङ स्टाफ होस्, कम्प्युटर इलिट्रेट होस् होइन, सिकाउनै पर्ने हामीलाई चाहिँ। हामीभन्दा म एक्लै थिएँ त्यति बेला। अनि मेरो रङ, वाट आई डिड रङ वाज, मेरो चाहिँ टेक्निकल ब्याकग्राउन्ड भएर आएको, 4-5 वर्ष पढेर आएको होइन। त्यो 4-5 वर्ष पढेर आएको चाहिँ आई डिन्ट ह्याभ टाइम टु एक्सप्लेन इट टु देम फर 6 years होइन। 1 हप्तामा सिक्नुपर्छ कम्प्युटर अब बिचरा होइन। द्याट इज माई मेजर ब्लन्डर मेरो। सो द्याट इज ब्लन्डर, द्याट इज नट, द्याट इज वान थिङ वी सुड नेभर डु रेस। एन्ड देन अर्को ब्लन्डर चाहिँ यु नो द्याट युजर्स क्रिएट हुन्छ, विन्डोजमा होस् या लिनक्समा होस्, यु हेभ युजर ग्रुप्स होइन। युजर ग्रुप गरे सबैलाई सुप युजर थियो। अब एडमिन, आई डिन्ट नो अब एडमिन गर्दा के हो, एन्ड आई डिन्ट ह्याभ टाइम, मैले याद पनि गरेन। आई वाज इन अ हरी, माई फल्ट, उडाइदिएँ। त्यहाँदेखि सबैलाई दिएँ, स्टाफलाई दिएँ मैले एडमिन युजर हो, दे ह्याड देयर ओन सिस्टम्स। कतिजना त के अरे सर्भरमा गएको थियो एक्सेस, एडमिन युजर न के गर्छ अब। स्टाफहरू अल्छी लागेपछि वाट दे डु, दे स्टार्ट फिडलिङ विथ द फोल्डर्स होइन। फोल्डरमा जान्छ, घरि होम फोल्डरमा गएछ, घरि EXE फाइल्समा गएछ। अब त्यहाँदेखि त्यो के हो होइन, दे डोन्ट नो, नट इन्टेन्सनल है, दे क्युरियसली यो डिलिट गरिदियो, त्यो डिलिट गरिदियो, यता डिलिट गरिदियो, छैन, सर्भरै चल्नु छोड्यो होइन। अब देन अब द्याट इज द प्रब्लम। देन वेन आई गो एन्ड आस्क देम, दे कान्ट रिट्रेस द स्टेप्स। अब त्यति बेला त पुरा रिसाएँ हामी, पुरा रिसाएँ म होइन। इस्यु, अफिस अर्डर इस्यु गरेँ, मान्छेलाई बोलाएर कराएँ, विच वाज भेरी रङ अन माई पार्ट रहेछ। मेरो माई फल्ट बिकज अफ वाट आई डिड रङ, दे ह्याड टु फेस द म्युजिक, बट माई फल्ट। देन आई बादमा चाहिँ नट ओन्ली 1 or 2 years है, आफ्टर 8 or 9 years आई रियलाइज द्याट मेरो फल्ट रहेछ त्यो, बिकज आई सुड हेभ गिभन देम लिमिटेड युजर राइट्स दिनुपर्ने थियो। आई गेभ देम सुप युजर राइट्स, एडमिन राइट्स, द्याट इज बाउन्ड टु ह्यापन। सो whenever we're talking about all these things, whenever you're talking about coding, whenever you're talking about hardware maintenance, software maintenance, one point of time you will always have a non-coder in your team. हुन्छै हुन्छ उनीहरू, without them we cannot function होइन। त्यति बेला चाहिँ you have to know and you have to understand the rights, the privileges that you give them, the access that they are allowed, बुझ्नुभयो। because what happens is sometimes के हुन्छ भने समटाइम्स दे माइट वान्ट टु फिल। अब यस्तो हुन्छ है, सी जुनै इन्भाइरोमेन्टमा पनि म पनि त आई एम आउट अफ टच विथ कोडिङ है, बट वेन आई सिट विथ माई टिम नि होइन, आई सिट एज एन HR जस्तो बस्छु म त। आई डोन्ट सिट एज अ टेक्निकल बिकज आई एम आउट अफ टच। बट समटाइम्स वाट ह्यापन्स इज त्यो मनमा के उयो हुन्छ, यो टेक्निकलले गर्दैछ, यिनीहरूको यस्तो मजाको काम हुँदैछ, आई अल्सो वान्ट टु डु समथिङ। अब आई हेभ फर्गटन, आई डोन्ट नो एनिथिङ वाट दे आर डुइङ। देन अब इफ आई हेभ सुपिरियर राइट, वाट विल आई डु, म घुस्छु नि त त्यहाँ होइन, विदाउट नोइङ एनिथिङ। तपाईँहरूलाई इफ आई वाच यु डुइङ टाइपिङ द सेम कमान्ड फर 20 days, त्यो कमान्ड त मलाई याद हुन्छ नि त, टेक्निकल होस् नन टेक्निकल होस्। देन भोलि दिन वाट आई वान्ट टु डु, म पनि यो हालिहेर्छु कमान्ड के गर्दो रहेछ होइन, देन गन। सो द्याट इज वाइ आइम सेइङ यु हेभ टु हेभ whenever you give rights to your non-technical users, there has to be privileges, restrictions hunai parcha. So that is something that you have to understand, हैन? And whenever we have like maintenance issues, software maintenance hoस्, hardware maintenance hoस्, protocols are very important. Real life experience ma protocols, why are protocols important भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ पहिला whenever you're doing your projects, तपाईको professor के भन्छ, documentation देऊ भन्छ हैन? They ask for documentation. They ask for documentation. So I feel that documentation is a kind of a protocol. जस्तो लाग्छ के, a protocol for the future. Right now, you are there, you are doing the coding part, we are doing the coding. Right? After 4 or 5 years, if the same question comes to you, what did you do? You will forget it. But if you have a documentation to say that what you did, your juniors will be able to work on it. So, protocol, you have to set protocols. Protocol is very important. Documentation is very important. Okay? Those are some things that you have to do. And when we are talking about software maintenance, software failure, what I say is, I'll talk about software failure. अहिलेको जमानामा त hardware ma चाहिँ, what I think is, if there is an issue with your hardware, you will always have spare hardware around. Replace गरिहाल्न सक्छ. Software ma पनि to a point, yes, you will have your production server ready, site ma. It might take 1 hour or 2 hours, but your site will be up and running. But I do not think that the hardware जुन चाहिँ replace गरेको छ नि, त्यतिकै स्पिडमा चाहिँ your software can also be up. सक्छ? Is it up or am I wrong? Like say for example your hardware down भयो अरे, हो? तपाईले hardware replace गर्छ, how long will it take to replace the hardware? But if a software goes down, how long will it take for it to be up and running? Is there a time?
2 hours. Maybe त्यो नयाँ hardware server post गर्नु पर्यो. IP server.
There is a lag, alikati. Yes. So, yes, ma'am. Give me 5 minutes, okay? 5 minutes of the time. Tato chai khanu bhanदैन, not good for health. Whenever there is an issue with your software, I feel that it is a very important issue. Software चाहिँ नि. Blame चाहिँ, it will come directly on us. Hardware ma चाहिँ it will not come on us, because hardware चाहिँ someone else is using the hardware. No problem. उसले बिगारेछ. They are the heroes. They have repaired it. Though it took time भन्छ है. एक दिन लगाएर रामुनाले काम गरेर आयो भन्छ है. हार्डवेयर बिग्रियो भन्छ है. सफ्टवेयर बिग्रियो भने चाहिँ के भन्छ? 6 जना 7 जना छ, 1 घण्टामा पनि सकेन भन्छ. They will say that. हैन? So the responsibility is ours. If there is a software issue, responsibility is ours. As far as I understand, software मा चाहिँ normal issue हुँदैन रहेछ. If we do regular updates, regular checks, regular backups, त्यो गरिरहन्छ नि, there are no issues with software. Not as much as how we face the issues that we face with hardware. Am I right or wrong? I don't know. मेरो experience ले चाहिँ I find that.
Issues are mostly data related. So data loss.
Yeah. Yes, correct. Yes. Data loss भन्दा major हो नि. अब हामी पनि त्यही हो. If we lose data नि, it's a major issue for us.
And the data goes to the hardware actually. Hard disk is failed then again it is a big issue.
Correct.
One day data is
Oh, yes, very, very correct. हाम्रो पनि त्यही, that is the biggest threat हामीलाई पनि, data loss. So far as I am concerned, so far as my team is concerned, I always make it a point to back up my data, software. Because first thing question आउँछ नि software failure भयो भने, they will ask, तपाईको HR, तपाईको हेडले data backup है, हैन? What is the time lag भन्छ नि त? Like, when was the last time you backed up the data? Say तपाईको 12 बजे software down भयो अरे, कब लिया था backup? सोधिहाल्छ. Then you say 11:48 को लिया था भन्दाखेरि safe, हैन? 9 o'clock को लिया था त खलास भइहाल्यो होइन
लास्ट विकेन्ड चाहिँ हिजो राति लास्ट yesterday night को ब्याकअप चाहिँ लास्ट week भन्यो त्यतिसम्म चाहिँ अलिकति यस्तो चाहिँ
नहुने सो हाम्रो काम चाहिँ डेटा ब्याकअप लिनु भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट सफ्टवेयर फेलियर हार्डवेयर फेलियर नो वान क्यान प्रेडिक्ट वाट वी क्यान प्रेडिक्ट इज हाम्रो काम सो ब्याकअप लिनुहोस् टेक अ ब्याकअप अफ यर सफ्टवेयर टेक अ ब्याकअप अफ यर हार्ड डिस्क वाट एभर इट इज यु आर सेफ एभ्री वान इज सेफ ओके लेट्स ह्याभ टी नाउ as again I was talking, I was having a light talk with you all. I wanted to know, because I'm curious. तपाईँहरूको जब hardware and software issues हुन्छ, whenever you have issues like that in your establishment, because you are coming from NIC, NIC is the premier developing agency. You may have been appointed or posted in Sikkim. But you still carry the legacy of NIC, which is a pan-India, which has pan-India presence. So, whenever they look at you, you will not be looked upon as just an ordinary guy. Someone with NIC, you'll have very high standings. So, and I am very sure that you must be trained. You must have had an orientation class. You must have training that in NIC.
Yes, actually. Some video conferencing, video training, streaming was there. So time to time they were taking us some exam also.
Oh, okay. Competency.
Yes.
Okay. So what I want to do is because see, big institutions which have pan-India presence, they will have very good protocols. They will have very good ideas. Even if they give you a 10% knowledge, that 10% knowledge is what we will not have.
Yes. Actually, they've come from knowledge from across the country, right? More persons across the country. They take the country feedback of all the people across the country. Right?
Yeah, you take best practices.
Yes.
That's what we call, right? Best practices. Ke cha best practices? So I just wanted to ask. Your point pani थियो. I didn't know that, but I knew that NIC coordinator आउँछ भनेर. So I have a point over here. Whenever there is a software or a hardware issue, be it a small organization, be it a single court, be it a court complex, be it a high court, what are the best practices for you that you've been handed over? Okay, whenever these things happen, we do this. Our states we do this. And what are the things that when they talked about it, it struck you? Yeah, this is a good thing. I should adopt Eurasia. It will be helpful for us. And what are the best practices that other states are doing, or what are the best practices that you have been told to adopt? And is there any way to circumvent or go past such issues so that we do not face such issues, hardware and software issues? Is there anything that you've been taught? So if you could share your knowledge, I would be very grateful.
First of all, most important case first fully understand the problem, because fully understood is the problem half solved.
Yes.
So the main concept भयो त्यो पछाडि तपाईको फ्लोमा जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ पहिला प्रब्लम बुझेर मजाले के हुनुपर्छ त्यो पछाडि पहिले टेस्ट गर्यो त्यो प्रब्लम कसरी एनालाइज हुँदैछ. सो त्यो प्रब्लम टेस्ट गर्दै जाँदा अगर त्यो प्रब्लम हिट गर्यो फेरि त्यही प्रब्लम नेक्स्ट स्टेप्समा कन्टिन्यू हुँदैछ भने त्यसको रिजल्भ अब कोडको थ्रु कसरी हुन्छ, किनभने डेटाबेसमा केही अब तपाईँको एउटा आइडी मिसम्याच भएर त्यो आयो भने एउटा गयो, नभए तपाईँको अब अगर त्यो प्रब्लम फेरि एनालाइज भएन भने त्यो प्रब्लमलाई हामी सिम्पल सर्ट टर्म सल्युसन कसरी दिन्छ. जस्तै एउटा डेटामा तपाईँको बफर मिलेको छैन, त्यसको डिस्प्ले मिलेको छैन, त्यो अड्किन्छ, त्यसलाई सर्ट टर्म सल्युसन कसरी दियो. सर्ट टर्म सल्युसन राखेर हामीले युजर चाहिँ नबिगारौँ, युजर इन्टरफेस चाहिँ नबिगारौँ, जस्तो जसले हेर्दैछ एक्सेस गर्दैछ. अनि त्यो पछाडि चाहिँ हामी अब त्यो अगर त्यो टेम्पोररी रिजल्भ भयो चाहिँ त्यहाँ पछाडि चाहिँ त्यो प्रब्लम सल्भ गर्दै लानुपर्छ. त्यो स्टेप चाहिँ फलो गर्छ.
So band-aid method, right? पहिला put a band-aid on so that it is working, and then पछाडिबाट you do the surgery. Right? Oh, that is.
Now we are trying to integrate continuous integration and continuous development process also. We keep the source code in the sentinel centralized location like GitHub or some other place, so that we can access it anywhere.
Mhm.
So we carry our laptop and everyone, if somebody sends us, he has done here, if I am in Assam also, then I can put it and we can check it, and again we push it, and we can move this code to the production again for the resolving the issue. So we are still learning and improving actually. It is not kind of fixed rule we have already set up, and we are following that only. We are improving actually, introducing new things actually, whatever required during this changing process actually.
And
the thing is mostly that कि तपाईको problem arise नहोस् भन्ने लागि चाहिँ
त्यो त अब I think that will be the utopia भन्छ नि है, no problem. When you go to court, when you go to office, company without any issues, that
Issues will always there actually, a little bit manageable issues is always there.
So what I want to ask is, एउटा suggestion मात्रै. You were talking about that. I think access, cloud access,
Yes, yes.
issues. You can access it anywhere.
Yes.
Normally, हाम्रोमा चाहिँ what we face is we face this issue of tunnel, the restricted access. Do you face that access? Because see, it is like if I need to access my VN, it needs to be only NIC, NICNet. अब घरमा त NICNet कहाँबाट आउँछ?
Actually, we keep the
VPN.
source code open. Our source code is open anyway. We don't need a tunnel, but still, because our production code is go to the tunnel actually. Then we are using the VPN actually.
Okay.
मेन सल्युसन तपाईको मतलब हाम्रो एन्डबाट कोडपट्टिबाट सल्युसन भयो तर त्यसलाई पब्लिस गर्दा चाहिँ टनलिङ गर्ने
पर्छ, yes. So at least even if like say he's at Assam जाने भएको छ, you are somewhere else and you have an issue, or he is at Assam and you are here, right? And it's something that which he has been doing it, he can do it from Assam and then you can do the push it from server.
We are configuring the VPN in our laptop. So if required tunneling, then we use the VPN to access all the code. Otherwise, for the source code we are using usually GitHub.
त्यसको दिनमा एनिवेज टनलिङ इज रिक्वायर्ड तपाईँ किनभने पनि अब जहीँ छ नि घरतिरै हुन्छ.
So there is hardly any chances of losing the source code actually.
That is correct.
If source code is there, then you can build it up.
Yes, because technical, I also face the same issues. During COVID time, someone had to come and script run karnai parcha, end of the day. So our code was working whole day. I was coming every day. I used to come and do it. But what happens is holidays it's a big problem. Kabhi to complete ban hota tha. Then I used to do VPN. Through VPN, I used to do that. And later on, what I found was some issues creep up. Issues that are beyond my control. That is my technical guy, my software boys unarko expertise science. Then they had an issue because VPN, it is only me that had taken VPN. Now they can't come to my house and do it because we are living far apart.
Yes.
So then what I told them was like, let's take VPN. VPN also we had a lot of issue. I don't know why VPN, we have a lot of issue with VPN. Maybe we didn't know how to do it. I thought I knew how to do it, but when I needed to do it for someone else, then I had an issue.
Yeah.
So many security issues.
But it's required also because of the security issues. Because all the countries are eyeing on India, like crack something else, crack something else.
Yes.
All the hackers are trying to beat us, right? So security is always important.
Yes. That is, security is very important.
Because data is all this data is it can create national issue actually. It's shared to our country. So.
Yeah, like recently, corruption in judiciary, NCRT. So have you been reading that?
Yes,
They-
CJS, I can give a statement regarding
Yes. So that, yes, you are correct. Okay, so I think that best practice is there, right? And like you have said, it's a bandit method. We first address the issue immediately, see that it is working. Or when you talk about bandit, see the wound is not bleeding, stop the bleeding and start the medication from back end. Okay, thank you very much. Now, I would like to take you to these are the terms that we are required to talk about. I am required to talk about, and you are required to sit and listen to it. And I have not, I don't intend to show you the maintenance script. I don't intend to show you where it is, because that is, I feel, irrelevant, but the topic is very relevant. Why it is relevant, I will say. Like first I touched on it. Whatever we are doing, you are appointed as software professionals for the ECOS project. ECOS project is what is making us happy at the end of the day. Happy as in putting food on the table, education for the kids, family happy. That is very, very straight and simple. For me also, it is the same thing. Earlier it was ICT enabling the courts, and now it is coordinating. See that it is working for the courts. The courts give us manpower. It is my job to see that the manpower, they are working. About working, you are working, every day you are working, I am working, my staff, they are working. Working for what? That is the question. You say, okay, you have a very clean answer. Working on development of software, that is what you are doing. I will say I am working on managing the manpower. But for what? What is the reason to work? There should be a reason to work, apart from those personal reasons. So for office, as far as we are concerned, we are working to see that the vision of the E-Committee has a vision, very simple vision. It has like, what I read is, I have this phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. I think we are on phase 4 projects. Phase 3 projects. We are completing phase 3 projects. And the amount that is being spent is huge. We can't even dream of the amount that is being spent on computerization. And the committees, the learned people who are heading it, we can't imagine of reaching their point level. Forget about meeting them. Another level we won't reach. But they're all working on something. And so far as the work is concerned, I feel the highest person and the lowest person. For what I'm talking about, lowest person would mean a system assistant, whose job would be just to go and plug in the system on gara, printer yahandekhi uta liera jau, replace gara. So that is the IT system. What are we working on? Or what is the use of working so hard? Yes, personally I feel we're all working for transparency. That is the end product. That is the end product that everyone wants. I think transparency in the judiciary. Transparency in the judiciary. How do we achieve that now? Like I touched already, transparency in the judiciary. The Honorable High Court you develop the data, case proceedings garners, you keep the data in your High Court. Subordinate courts, we do all the uploadings, we upload data, upload the orders, upload day-to-day, all the proceedings, and we keep it to ourselves. That is not transparency. A goal defeated. No one will say. Transparency is when it goes out of the court. Out of the court complex, it is in the national level. It is for everyone to see. So I think that is transparency. I think that is the very clear-cut definition of transparency. And our job is a very simple job, to see that the correct data is going there. Timely updates. Data that is timely updated, it has to reach that NJDG server. So that is termed as replication. We all know. Replication bhन्छ, data monitoring, replication bhन्छ. Replication is a mean to see that we are achieving transparency, which I feel to a huge portion we have done it. At the risk of security issues, but we have achieved transparency. As of now, I think most of the subordinate courts in India, they are listed on the NGTG. Anyone from anywhere can go and see unaro case kaile bhayo, when is the next date, and what was the order that was passed yesterday or day before yesterday. Mind you, this was not available when I joined first. I think you joined quite late. I think you joined when the computerization era was already, you missed the bandwagon. Huh? But when I joined, what used to happen was, all manual. Court judge used to sit here, the court used to be here, litigant त्यहाँ हुन्छ हैन, तपाईं दुईजना, one is petitioner, one is defendant. I am the पेशकर्ता, यहाँ जज साहब बस्नु भएको हुन्छ, and जज साहबले डेट दिनुपर्छ हैन. Now the judge will not know, honorable judge, learned judges, they will not know कि भोलि दिन कतिवटा केस छ, पर्सि दिन कतिवटा केस छ. They will never know. How is it possible for them to know the number of cases that are there? So what they do, उहाँले पेशकर एउटा डेट भन्छ हैन. अब उहाँले चाहिँ अगाडि नै पेशकरलाई भेटेको छ भने चाहिँ your date will get. When you say like भोलि दिन you are free and he is not free, and तपाईले चाहिँ before the court starts you go and meet the peshkar, then you get your date. Now he is at a loss. He will say, my God, tomorrow मेरो त पुरा काम छ यस्तो यस्तो, I will not be able to come. Then you will see him as if he is running away from the case. Every day he is absent. Someone is running away. That was sometimes the case scenario, unknown to anyone. It was happening because that is life. That happens. Now, that is not transparency. I don't term it as transparency because it was not transparent for you. It was not transparent for the Honorable Chair. And it was not transparent for the litigants or the advocates who had come there. Very opaque. Transparency now is, at least we know, मेरो date, next date is यो तारिक छ, यो कोर्टमा छ, and if I look at the order will say, okay, order ले त्यही भनिरहेको छ. So you come on so and so date, so and so will come, and this is the process. So that is transparency which we have achieved. So for me, at the end of the day, our job is to see that we maintain transparency. त्यति हो काम चाहिँ. All the hardware that has been given to us, all the development process that has been done, just to achieve. तपाईको त्यो वेबसाइटमा your data will come. One page data को लागि, just imagine, I imagine कोही बेला के हो, for one page of data, कति पैसा चाहिँ is being used, is being spent on that, हैन? But it is well spent because we are achieving something. Now, for that, technical, it is very important for us. Number one, as I said, replication is very important. We have to ensure that it is being replicated, data is being replicated. We have to ensure that sometimes what happens is, the maintenance can run, this is something which I found out, we execute number 3, no errors. No errors, all done, then very happy, खुसी, हामी आज काम भयो, because end of the day मा चाहिँ data replicate हुने काम हाम्रो हो. त्यो data replicate भएन, मिस भयो भने चाहिँ then we are worried. भोलि you know the undated cases आउँछ, कोर्टले सोधिहाल्छ, undated cases भएन मतलब because either the उसको कोर्टको स्टाफ काम गरेन कि त हामीले काम गरेन हो. So हामी ढुक्कै भएर जान्छ. Tomorrow morning हामी आयो, all undated cases. एउटा कोर्टमा त undated हैन, all the 6 courts. We have 6 courts in Gangtok. 6 courts को 6 चाहिँ undated आयो. So that means it is not the issue of the courts. Technically चाहिँ कहाँ काम बिगाड्यो भयो नि त. It seems we've not done our job. The primary हाम्रो काम के थियो, replicate गर्नु, त्यो गरेन. And then हामी पनि छक्कै पर्यो अब. Execute number 3 we have executed. No errors, no nothing. But then I contacted the E-committee, सोध्यो, पुणेलाई NIC पुणे टिम हैन, उहाँलाई सोध्दाखेरि no, you go and run number 6 अरे. त्यो data integrity, check for data integrity. Data integrity 6 number check गर्दाखेरि त त्यो we have databases for CIS, we have 4 database. 4 database को unsuccessful आयो त्यहाँदेखि. छक्कै पर्यो. Now we don't know what to do now. Okay? Then मलाई पनि त्यति बेला लाज लाग्यो. I was very ashamed त्यति बेला. Because my job is to see that it is done. It was my job to see that it was, after they've done it, go to NTDG and see whether it is uploaded or not. And it was my job to see that what we do is, in the process, whole day we run it. 1 hour, hourly, or 2 hours, maybe we execute it. मैले होल डे हेरेन त्यो, मैले हेरेको भए त चाल पाउँथ्यो. सो now what happens is मेरो प्राइमेरी कामै मैले मिस भयो मेरो. द्याट वाज अ फेलियर होइन. प्राइभेट जग्गा हो त एक दिनको स्यालेरी दिन्थेन होला नि, बिकज आई एम नट डन माई जब. अरू काम गरेँ नि त, बट द्याट इज नट डन इदर. सो देन नाउ आई रियलाइज द्याट इट इज आवर जब टु सी द्याट थिङ्स आर डन प्रपरली. ओके, रेप्लिकेसन काम गर्नु हुँदैछ, के भन्छ, बट वी आर नट मोनिटरिङ डेटा. द्याट्स वाइ आई पुट द्याट वर्ड मोनिटरिङ ओभर हियर होइन. Monitoring, why I put the word monitoring over here is because it is very important that we go back and see that things that we have done, that is done correctly or not, it was successful or not. Okay. अब तपाईहरुको कोडिङमा त I know it is instantaneously it comes whether it is done or not. But these things on our part, the user's part मा चाहिँ these are things that we have to be very clear about. Primary काम हाम्रो एनजिडिजीमा रिफ्लेक्ट गर्नु हो. हाम्रो काम हो टु रेप्लिकेट द डेटा, एन्ड इट इज द सुपरभाइजर्स वर्क जब टु सी, टु मोनिटर द्याट द डेटा इज बिङ रेप्लिकेटेड, एभ्री वान इज डुइङ द जब भनेर. सो द्याट इज अ भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट थिङ आई फिल. आई थिङ्क सम पार्ट्समा इट माइट अल्सो बी युजफुल फर यु टु मोनिटर वाट एभर यु डुइङ, टु सी वाट एभर यु डुइङ, बिकज once you write a code for around 100 lines, if you are not monitoring what is coming out, then it will be a problem for you, because to go back 100 is quite a difficult. I think 109 लेख्नु the whole day लाग्छ होला नि त sometimes, if you have to think and you have to write and think and write, होइन. So it is to keep ourselves sane, we have to always monitor. Not only अफिसको काम मात्रै होइन, everyone says घरको काम पनि we have to monitor, we have to balance everything होइन. घरको काम पनि we have to do, office company you have to do. There should be a balance in between the two, and you should always be monitoring. Office में काम हुँदैछ, what is happening. घरमा हुँदैछ, what is happening. घरमा last में what I say is, in the end, at the end of the day, your God is very important. If your family is good, you can work. 12 घण्टा you can work, in my experience. घरमा if there is no one, your kids are not sick, if your wife is happy, your family is good. तपाईँ आएर बिहान, if your officer asks you to come at 6 o'clock in the morning, what happens? Your wife will come at 5 o'clock and prepare you breakfast, होइन. टप्पै ब्रेकफास्ट खाएर त को काम गर्दैन. You are all happy, you'll come, होइन. त्यहाँदेखि बेलुका 6 बजी जाऊ न. Your wife will be happy, you will be happy, your kids are happy. So घरको काम and अफिसको काम, a balance has to be maintained. हामीहरूले चाहिँ we see that, we realize it very late. I am now nearing 50. I realized it when I was around 50 मात्रै. त्यसको अगाडि त गोरु जस्तो के हो, काम गरेको. But you realize it when you, once you are aging, के हो, होइन. Most important that you keep your घर good. काम is already secure. Okay. So monitoring and balance and maintenance is very important, because you all are young in life. Young काम गरिरहेको छ होइन. Very important to keep your family happy and healthy. त्यसो गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ the husbands can go and work 24 hours काम गर्दा पनि, when you come back to a happy house नि relax भइहाल्दो रहेछ होइन. I think you all know that, if you are married with kids. Okay. So that is what I wanted to share with you, the second part. Now the last part, what I would like to share with you is, we have this thing called as video conferencing. When we talk about video conferencing, there are lots of shortfalls. Pahle I want to tell you, there are a lot of shortfalls which we face. The users will not face it. End users will never face it. Who will face issues? Background technical will face issues, because everything has to be done perfectly by the technical. Now the shortfalls. What are the shortfalls? If you can elaborate, do you have any idea?
Internet connectivity. Internet connection is the main issue for the remote.
Yes.
Just like us.
Yes.
Like पनि धेरै
Light पनि yes, correct.
Power backup.
5 seconds ल्यागले पनि तपाईँको धेरै इम्प्याक्ट गर्छ।
Very, very important. Because see, hardware math, I don't think we have an issue. These systems I think are not less than 2 lakhs camera, because we are at par with the rest of the country. Right?
Main backbone is the data for internet connectivity.
So,
This is not there.
So what do you do now when you have issues like that, when you have network issues? Because I know what I do. My boys do that, my girls do that, my office team, they do that. If you have ever come across, like you have to, a VC has to be held and it is under your command. We are not talking about very high definition VC. Kamchala VC has to be done. Your meeting just over. Then what do? If it is under your command, you have very limited bandwidth. Have you faced anything like that?
Actually, video VC पट्टि त मैले
छैन है? Okay, गर्दैन है. तपाईँ what about you?
Actually, both are same actually.
Okay,
We are not taking
It is related to software चाहिँ भन्नु।
Okay. So हाम्रोमा चाहिँ see what happens is I have done a lot of things. My team has done a lot of things. Sometimes we go and sometimes courtमा VC हुनुपर्छ हैन? गर्दा गर्दै NIC को line throttle गरिदिन्छ. NIC will throttle our lines. 16 Mbps थियो पहिला, then later on we upgraded to 32 Mbps. Now then we thought 32 in NIC line 32 is very good. 16 was great. After throttling it used to come to 6. हैन? 32 लाई चाहिँ even if they throttle it will come to 16, 17, 20 त आउँछ. We thought about that. Same thing problem. ठक्कै प्रिन्सिपल डिस्ट्रिक्ट जजको त्यहाँनिर द मेन बसको त्यहाँनिर when we go, आज चाहिँ नेटवर्क लगाएपछि छैन भिडियो आउँछ हैन? Then everyone starts shouting हैन? Because the HOD is the one who has approved 32 Mbps को upgrade. Then he will say अस्ति 32 Mbps को गरेको what happened technical? Now what will technical say? I will say sir NIC ले throttle गरेछ. बुझ्नुहुन्न उहाँले त किन बुझ्नुहुन्न? It's not his job to understand it. It is our job to see that 32 मा त 32 कम से कम 30 त आओस् न भन्ने हैन? लु हुँदैन त. NIC फेरि if you call NIC is not like someone who is just waiting for our call हैन? हाम्रो कल कहिले आउँछ पर्खिरहन्छ ए लु 1 minute मा इस उनीहरु त they are busy. Though they might be at fault, but they are also busy. Okay, no? It's a big institution, organization. So what we do? हामी यहाँ बसेर कोर्टसँग बसेर we strike a bargain. Sir, नक्सा चाहिँ यो साउन्ड मात्रै गरौँ. भिडियो अफ गरिदिउँ साउन्ड. It will achieve भन्छ हैन? So that is the basic thing we can do हैन? Request. कता कता अब लु लनेट बेन्चले ओके भन्छ. Then the advocate says हैन सर आँखाले देखेन भने it is not possible. We want to see the face भन्छ हैन? Now what to do? छैन, there is no उपाय. हाम्रो त्यो बेस्ट अप्सन चाहिँ थियो let us what we say is 1 मिनेटको लागि यसरी भिडियो देखाइदिउँ नक्सा. Then we'll keep the video off. It will save bandwidth. Sound त मजाले आउँछ सर हैन? Sound त आउँछ. No, मान्दैन. Then what we do? फोन निकाल्यो hotspot गर्यो. That is what we do. Because sometimes phone is working.
Yes, sir.
हैन? Sometimes what we do? WhatsApp call. No, sir, WhatsApp call रहेछ. Will you allow us to proceed with WhatsApp call? That also depends on the bench now.
Yes, sir.
न ठुलो स्क्रिनमा लगाऊ भनेपछि त सक्यो. मोबाइलको डेटाले कति देखाउँछ ठुलो स्क्रिनमा? It's like 63 inches को स्क्रिनमा हैन? So that are the problems that we face with technology. Equipments, TV, courtroom, soundproof courtroom, crystal clear speakers, world class mic, but no internet. So sometimes we feel that video conference might fail miserably. But then again there are times when we feel that it will not fail. Sometimes we have very good network. So that is a problem that we face every day. You try NIC नभएर we took Jio को network, Wi-Fi, Jio को air fiber भन्छ हैन? Number 1 अरे सबसे बेस्ट ओक्लामा माई टिम ओक्ला होइन स्पिड टेस्टर ओक्लामा रिभ्यू हेऱ्यो 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 लु यो चाहिँ नम्बर 1 हो है देन नोट लेखेँ मैले हो प्रेजिङ जियो एयर फाइबर यसको स्पिड टेस्टर 250 mbps को स्पिड भन्दैछ त्यो लगाएपछि चाहिँ हाम्रो भिडियो कन्फरेन्सिङ त 6 वटा कोड छ एकैचोटि एचडी हाई डेफिनेसनमा थाम्छ भन्छ मैले लेख्छु होइन नोट ठ्याक्कै लगाउनु छैन फेरि फाइबर फेरि देन अगेन सोध्छ अस्तिसम्म त यस्तो भन्दै थियो त के भयो होइन सो दोज आर द लिमिटेसन्स द इक्विपमेन्ट प्रब्लम द्याट वी फेस इट इज नट इक्विपमेन्ट है माइन्ड यू नट इक्विपमेन्ट equipment we have been provided the best equipments.
How do you handle the situation like you need to have the video conference anyhow, but there's major network issues.
Mobile.
So mobile ma pani bhayo bhane chahi
mobile ma bhayo bhane then what happens is my team doesn't go हो टिमलाई अलिक साह्रो पऱ्यो भने चाहिँ सरलाई बोलाउँदैछ कोर्टमा भन्छ मलाई they will all run away हो and I go to the court I face the music देन उहाँले भन्छ के भयो भेरी स्योर एडभोकेट आउनु भएको हुन्छ लिटिगेन्ट आएको हुन्छ टाइम वेस्ट भइरहेको हुन्छ बिचरा नेक्स्ट डेट आई रिक्वेस्ट त्यहाँ उभिएर के गर्नु आई से लाइक सर इभन इफ इट इज इन द रेकर्ड इट क्यान बी अन रेकर्ड बट सर दिस इज द थिङ निकनेट इज डाउन माई फोन इज डाउन नो नेटवर्क इज देयर आई थिङ्क वी हेभ टु गिभ अ नेक्स्ट डेट yes yes 2-3 times I have stood before the court and requested for that. It happens. अहिले the winter मा चाहिँ it is better, but come summer त्यहाँदेखि चाहिँ काम खलास. I don't know honorable high court को पनि problem हुन्छ नि तपाईहरुको हुन्छ because so many times हामी high court सँग भिडियो कन्फरेन्स गर्दाखेरि त्यो ग्रेनी पिक्चर आउन थालिहाल्छ है देन हाई कोर्टलाई सजिलो छ तर टेक्निकल टिमलाई के भन्छ हाई कोर्टको टेक्निकल टिमले सबोर्डिनेट कोर्टको इन्टरनेट ठिक छैन रहेछ भनिन्छ होइन अनि सबोर्डिनेट कोर्टको त राम्रो हुन्छ नि इन्टरनेट अब हाइकोर्टले भन्दैछ त हामी त फल्ट वी आर एट फल्ट वी क्यान से होइन तपाईँहरूको नराम्रो भनेर सो बट द्याट इज नो वान्स कन्ट्रोल थ्याङ्कफुली टिल नाउ द कोर्ट्स हेभ अन्डरस्टुड द्याट इट इज बियोन्ड एनी वान्स कन्ट्रोल वाट वी क्यान से इज आजकल चाहिँ वाट वी डु इज बेस्ट प्र्याक्टिस पनि भन्छु त होइन दिस डेज वाट आई डु इज अब अहिले हाम्रो प्रिन्सिपल डिस्ट्रिक्ट आउनुभएको छ अनि एनजी सर आउनुभएको छ उहाँले एक्सपिरियन्स भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि he has told us to designate every technical power to all the courts. So 6 courts I have 6 courts. I have designated 6 other technical people. उनीहरूको काम first thing in the morning they come, they go to the courts. सबैमा गएर इन्टरनेट चेक गर्छ ओके बिहानै गएर इन्टरनेट चेक गर्छ कम्प्युटर सबै चेक गर्छ नेटवर्क चेक गर्छ स्पिड टेस्ट गर्छ देन दे कम एन्ड स्टे इन देयर रुम्स एन्ड कसैको इन्टरनेट छैन भने दे हेभ बिन इन्स्ट्रक्टेड टु इन्फर्म द नन जुडिसियल अफिसर सर म्याडम आज इन्टरनेट स्पिड कम्ती रहेछ है बिकज अफ दिस वी आर टकिङ टु द भेन्डर्स बट स्टिल दिस इज द प्रब्लम टुडे यु माइट हेभ अ प्रब्लम विथ भिडियो कन्फरेन्सिङ त्यति चाहिँ द्याट इज वाट वी आर डुइङ नाउ धेरै काम सल्भ भएको छ रिजल्भ भएको छ लाइट फर अस बट स्टिल वी फेस प्रब्लम्स सो यसमा चाहिँ नि मेरो टेक चाहिँ के भयो भन्दाखेरि द वान थिङ आई अन्डरस्टुड इज इफ आई गिभ इन्फर्मेसन टु द कोर्ट्स पहिला नै होइन त्यो द्याट इज भेरी नर्मल है तपाईँ र मलाई पनि लास्ट मिनटमा इन्फर्मेसन पाउनु र एडभान्स इन्फर्मेसन पाउनु इज भेरी डिफ्रेन्ट है द सिचुएसन सो वाट ह्यापन्स इज बिकज अफ दिस टिम भिजिटिङ इन द मर्निङ उहाँले गएर चाहिँ लन्डन जुडिसियल अफिसरलाई चाहिँ आज तपाईँको इन्टरनेट छैन रहेछ भन्नुभयो भने चाहिँ दे नो द्याट आज इन्टरनेट छैन कोर्टमा पनि उहाँहरूले त्यसरी नै केस मिलाउनुहुन्छ सो वी टेल देम ओके बाई द आफ्टरनुन दे इज अ पोसिबिलिटी फर नेटवर्क टु बी रिज्युम भन्दाखेरि भिडियो कन्फरेन्सिङहरू बेलुका मिलाउनुहुन्छ होपिङ द्याट इन्टरनेट विल बी छैन भने पनि नो प्रब्लम उहाँहरूलाई हामीले इन्फर्म गरेको छ दे विल टेक इट अन द नेक्स्ट डेट दे विल राइट नोबाट चाहिँ वाट आई हेभ अन्डरस्टुड इज द पावर अफ इन्फर्मेसन आई इन्फर्म देम आई अपडेट देम पहिला नै यो हुँदैन भनेर द्याट हेज सेभ अस अ लट अफ स्कोल्डिङ होइन द्याट इज भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट रहेछ द्याट इज आवर बेस्ट प्र्याक्टिस हामीले त गएर त इन्टरनेट त रिज्युम गर्नु सक्दैन नि त वी क्यान फिजिकली गो एन्ड जोइन द केबल्स बट वी क्यान इन्फर्म द कोर्ट्स द्याट इज वाट वी क्यान डु आई थिङ्क द्याट इज अल्सो वाट यु क्यान अल्सो डु होइन इट इज नट ओन्ली भिडियो कन्फरेन्सिङ वी आर टकिङ अबाउट एभ्रिथिङ everything in your work space. Now the question is, why do we need to adopt video conferencing in spite of all its failures, shortcomings, not failures, I won't say failure, in spite of all its shortcomings, why do we need to adopt video conferencing? Apart from that, Gisapita answer,
So,
creative answer.
like about तपाईँको I had a one time one of the delivery boy contacted me.
Mm.
He said to me that he has the hearing that has to be done in the CCM court in Kalimpong.
Mm.
So, यस्तो सिचुएसनमा चाहिँ सर तपाईँको अब he said I have to appear tomorrow, but I have no means to reach out there, no?
Mm.
So त्यो केसेसमा चाहिँ maybe if he has a lawyer, maybe some केसेसमा के छ उसको hearing कस्तो खालको छ, त्यो केसेसमा चाहिँ VC available छ भने चाहिँ उसले एटलिस्ट एटेन्ड गर्न सक्छ फ्रम रानीपुल भनौँ न,
Okay.
त्यहाँबाट उसले कालिम्पोङमा एटेन्ड गर्न सक्छ. सो त्यो केसमा उसको काम पनि भयो, सो सिजिएमकोले कोर्ट पनि एटेन्ड गर्यो. त्यस्तो केसेसमा चाहिँ दिस इज भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई. मेबी आइ एम नट राइट.
You're very right. That is everyone is right. Video conferencing is an open field. What you feel right can be right for everyone.
एफिसिएन्ट गर्नुको लागि जुडिसियल सिस्टमलाई चाहिँ पब्लिकलाई चाहिँ सिधो सिधो पठाउनु या अथेन्टिक प्रोग्राम जहाँबाट पनि गर्नु सक्ने एउटा फेसिलिटेट गर्नुको लागि चाहिँ राम्रो हुनेछ जस्तो भिडियो कन्फरेन्सिङ.
And do you know of any such feature or such scheme that the e-committee is running so that video conferencing can be achieved by all these community, like what you said, required to come to court and sit in the courtroom? It's very difficult. Are you aware of any scheme that the e-committee is doing so that these things can be achieved?
Yes. And one of my friends also appeared in the honorable court just a few months back. He was asking me to attend court in Namchi maybe. And उहाँ आउनुभएको थियो माथि हाइकोर्टमा कि यहाँबाट बिसीबाट केही एभाइलेबल हुन्छ तपाईँको त्यहाँ कोर्ट गर्ने गर्नु. आई डोन्ट नो के भयो तर he was asking me. So त्यस्तो केसेसमा चाहिँ चाहिँदो रहेछ.
यो चाहिँ तपाईँले राम्रो पोइन्ट निकाल्नु भयो कि यो चाहिँ एउटा ई-कमिटीले ई-सेवा, आर यु अवेयर अफ ई-सेवा?
E-सेवा सर्भिसेस, yes.
E-सेवा सर्भिस, yes. All the courts are required to have it. सिक्किममा त मोस्ट अफ द सबोर्डिनेट कोर्ट्स पुरानो सबैमा छ. यु क्यान से 90% मै छ, एउटा दुईटामा छैन होला बिकज अफ लोकेसनले गर्दा छैन होला. यो ई-सेवा चाहिँ के हो भन्दाखेरि, अब सो द्याट यु आर अवेयर देन यु क्यान टेल यर फ्रेन्ड्स अर द्याट डेलिभरी गाई, होइन. न ई-सेवा चाहिँ एभ्री कोर्टको कम्प्लेक्समा चाहिँ देयर इज अ स्मल युनिट वेयर एन ई-सेवा इज सेटअप. ई-सेवा विल ह्याभ technical manpower, IT manpower, okay, and that person will have a scanner, a computer, internet access, and a video conference facility. Like तपाईको जस्तो, हैन, your friend comes in saying मलाई यता VC गर्नु छ, you can direct that person. तपाईको in fact high court को ई-सेवा पनि छ. You can direct that person to go to the ई-सेवा and say okay, ई-सेवामा जाऊ, do the formalities, and you can do the video conferencing. But so far as video conferencing is concerned, I do not think court it is a walk-in video conference. The court has to be informed, honorable court has to be informed, okay, तपाईको जो advocate हुनुहुन्छ, he is living far away, not possible for him to come. So next date चाहिँ he may appear through VC. The court will give you a time, date, and VC security को लागि they will give you a link. So you use the link, go to the e-सेवा, appear. So that facility is there for your information. And filing also facility from the e-सेवा. You can also file cases, e-filing of cases. So those are, so that is there. Sorry.
Filing is running in our high court.
Yes. Ours it's running. It's doing very well. Gantokma it is doing very well. Other districts we can't say it is not doing well. For the case load, for the amount of footfall, it's doing well. Gantokma we have more numbers. Only thing is, because there are many people, population because of the population, more people are coming. And just doesn't mean that just because we are doing 100, we are doing well. Population wise, everyone is doing well. In the same way, if you look at Gangtok and Siliguriko VC, e-Seva Kendra, we are lagging behind. They must be doing in thousands. We are doing in 100 So, location-wise, it is different. But as far as the job is being done, the required facilities that is being required to be provided to the public, everyone is doing that. It is not a problem for them. Okay, I have around 45 minutes now. Okay, so what I want to do is, I just want to talk about me. Video conferencing, we know that video conference is required. There is no other way out. Whenever geographical issues we have video conferencing, we have to. And you being technical, अस्ति चाहिँ मैले भिडियो कन्फरेन्सिङ लागि चाहिँ इन्टरनेट फेसिलिटी चाहिँ त्यो के अरे स्टारलिङ्क मैले आई प्रपोज्ड हाम्रो सिपी सरलाई स्टारलिङ्क आउँछ इन्डियामा पनि आई थिङ्क इज लन्च्ड भएको छैन मुम्बईमा भर्खर आई थिङ्क ट्रायल होइन सो आई सजेस्टेड हाम्रो सिपिसी सर पहिला कामा सर हुनुहुँदाखेरि सर हाम्रो एचओडी थियो नि त आई सेड सर तपाईँ हाइकोर्ट जानुहुँदैछ नाउ वी सुड डु ट्राई फर स्टारलिङ्क एक्सेस भन्यो आई डोन्ट नो हाउ फिजिबल इट इज आई डु हेभ एनी आइडिया अबाउट द्याट मलाई त सेक्युरिटी चाहिँ मलाई प्रब्लम लाग्छ कि जस्तो लाग्छ बिकज उनीहरूको सर्भर चाहिँ आई थिङ्क इट विल बी इन युएस बिङ युएस यु नो वाट विल ह्यापन होइन इन्डिया त फेरि दे टेन टु ओभर रुल गर्नु खोज्छ सो आई थिङ्क है सेक्युरिटी चाहिँ माइट बी इस्यु बट वाट अबाउट योर पोइन्ट अफ भ्यू बिकज समटाइम आज नभए भोलि त विल हेभ टु टक अन दिस वन्स द्याट थिङ कम्स
युएसएको उसबाट चाहिँ कति लेस एक्सेसिबल छ कि सेमै हो
still data is moving, so if there is no proper encryption, they can. And now there is quantum computer is there because no any encryption can also save instant. They can actually break our all kind of accessing.
If they have to access anyhow, they are accessing.
Yes.
किनभने अहिले यो त ट्रान्सपरेन्टै छ अब नेसनल पोर्टलमै एभाइलेबल छ सेक्युरिटी वाइज सर अब
I think the main problem is because
security is the main problem actually.
Because replication पनि आइहाल्छ नि if you're talking about we won't use it only for video con भोलि दिन we might ask the NIC for tunneling access whitelisting or whatever then whitelisting गर्न थाल्यो भने त मैले चाहिँ first thing चाहिँ what I thought was okay यो त it goes to the US satellite the US based हो पहिला चाहिँ okay since it was in India they might have a problem of okay tracking त्यो पिगी ब्याङ्क गरेर ट्र्याक गर्छ होला भन्ने सुर्ता अब त इट इज इन देयर ओन सोइल हो दे आर नट वरिड अबाउट हु इज ट्र्याकिङ अर नट होइन सो आई थिङ्क द्याट वुड बी अ प्रब्लम बट आई डो नट नो हाउ मच अफ अ प्रब्लम द्याट वुड बी or if you have thought about that if your organization is thinking about that because NIC will be in play यो त तपाईलाई चाहे नचाहे NIC will be in the middle of it हैन
data to normally Indian framework मै ट्राभल गर्दैछ आफ्नो स्याटेलाइटबाट इन्डियाको आफ्नो स्याटेलाइटबाट डाटा पनि मतलब ट्रान्सफर गर्न छ भने इन्डियन स्याटेलाइट युज गरिरहेछ
त्यो त no but I don't think they are doing Indian satellite is it Starlink has its own, they have their own satellite system हैन
Starlink has their own satellite for now present scenario in India government is doing I think using own satellite system for data transfer not that Starlink because we cannot believe other countries
that's what
blindly
but regarding security like US को तपाईको they are very particular तपाईको कति कुरा छ हामी एक्सेस गर्न सक्दैछ हैन त्यो इन्डियालाई पनि चाहिन्छ होला
So India, I think they are not trying to do it. If they wanted to do it, hell bent on doing it, they will do. Like other countries, they want. They will do it. India is not bothered about wanting access or if it is required, that they will do this. So I think I do not know how feasible it would be, but I have in my mind that NIC will be in the middle of this. तपाईँहरूले त एनआइसी विल हेभ टु थिङ्क अबाउट दिस जस्तो लाग्छ। अस्ति मैले गौतमलाई त भनेको थिएँ यस्तो हुन्छ होला बिकज मेनी कोच विल वान्ट टु अप्ट एन्ड दे विल पुट इन रिक्वेस्ट एन्ड वाट इज एनआइसी गोइङ बिकज सी एज फार एज आई एम कन्सर्न चुङथाङमा मङ्गन नर्थ सिक्किम चुङथाङ अल्सो नर्थ सिक्किम रङली इज इन पाकिङ डिस्ट्रिक्ट रिमोट जग्गा ओके तीनवटा जग्गामा त वान स्टारलिङ कम्स म त आई विल एप्लाई फर स्टारलिङ बिकज त्यो दोज कोच आर नट आइटी इनेबल्ड वी ओन्ली हेभ कम्प्युटर्स नो नेटवर्क network
How does it happen in the pen drive? Time to time?
no what happens is see in a day there will be around 1 or 2 hours of network
Okay.
then the rest of the day no network कहाँ ल्यान्डस्लाइड आयो भन्छ कहाँ बत्ती मोड्यो भन्छ कहाँ चुड्यो भन्छ that is a big
issue.
headache because we are paying for that Nita and the amount that we are paying is not a very tiny amount
Yes.
so मैले अस्ति नै I have tried to figure it out saying the amount of money that we are paying we need internet because of that Pakyung take for example Pakyung is not a rural area it's an urban area Pakyung it is not possible to provide because of so many financial constraints lease line is not provided we cannot provide because of financial constraints whereas when you talk about Starlink 30,000 में तो काम भइ नहीं हाल्दैन so people will once Starlink comes in I will push for that I have to give access to the courts so I told Gautam Varma ji this is the problem कल से तो if it comes then you will be in the middle of it Sikkim NIC the middle not only Sikkim I think the whole northeast whether you know
Yes.
last time I went for the one conclave all your honorable chief justices they were saying some court you don't have internet like you said pen drive like they were doing all those things they were saying so northeast the problem and I don't know what NIC is planning or what NIC is planning to do because they will once it does then you will need instant answers court to rukega nahi to wait for NIC to answer पहिला implement they will purchase the equipment they will start internet and then they will say okay now we want access we want whitelisting we want tunneling then I don't know what your thoughts are on that maybe Barmaji must be thinking something है ना
Yes, sir. He went for a training session for the IIT Guwahati also. There was this training session for related kind of thing.
oh, okay so they are talking about it
Might be. So I'm not taking the update. They said he went to Guwahati IIT.
so if NIC is talking then we are safe at least they are thinking
Yes.
कुछ तो हो रहा है then है ना they are doing something okay so next comes video conferencing infrastructure equipments we are also talking about live streaming these days I think you are aware Honorable High Court I think Honorable High Court has already started live streaming and when we talk about video conferencing we are always talking about live streaming
Yes.
hand in hand it will go hand in hand in the subordinate courts also they have identified some courts to be paperless and live streamed now the thing that I see that when we are doing live streaming is what I wanted was I wanted an answer a suggestion from you okay whenever there is a live streaming process if you do read the reels rules sorry not the reels if you read the rules then there it is mentioned that live streaming it will be done after 2 minutes at times okay so 2 minutes I asked other people also YouTube maybe I checked I talked to my technical team because what I thought was if you do it after 2 minutes it is not live streaming live streaming though as in where as is where But my technical team, they are saying no. Like YouTube, maybe it's done like that. There is a pause for some time, but then it is still live stream. Is that correct? Do you have any idea about that?
Actually, like if it is doing because of the some unwanted thing might be happening in a courtroom, like some foul language might be used. Stopping this kind of thing.
That is there. That is there in the rule.
Yeah, they are taking that much of time to moderate these things if required.
Okay. The rules say that, yes. Rules are very clear on that, saying to moderate all these things, it will be done after 2 minutes at times. What I am only asking is, even if you do it after 2 minutes, can the word live stream is still used for the technical, as far as technical? I'm not talking about rules because we are not experts. I'm just talking technically.
Yes, streaming is a live actually, but there is a gap between only 2 minutes.
It's a pause. So it's still a live stream.
Yeah, a little bit late actually.
Okay.
So that somebody can remove that word, blur that image kind of thing.
But I do believe that there must be something like, okay, the tat, whenever you are using foul language, the tat,
Yes.
that is the editing part. Huh?
Yes.
But that is not automatic.
I think till now it is not that much automatic.
So,
automatic.
automatic, huh?
So to maybe to जब data travel गर्छ they might find out बात तपाईको security हुन्छ होला जसले चाहिँ
No, there is keeping a dashboard also for the operator who can,
Yes,
can
yes.
mute it or if it is a follow they can mute
But the
it.
operator, Vishal, how will they know that this man is about to?
No, maybe some algorithm छ सर जसले चाहिँ तपाईको त्यसलाई उयो गर्छ किन एट लास्टमा गएर त त्यो बाइनरी मात्र कन्भर्ट हुन्छ तपाईको भिडियो होस् कि भोइस आउँदै गर्दा बाइनरीमा ट्रान्सक्रिप्ट भएपछि त्यसलाई मेबी सम सर्ट अफ एल्गोरिदम छ जसले चाहिँ कता कता तपाईले डिटेक्ट गरेर त्यसलाई सेन्सर गर्नु सक्छ
So it has to be fed in all those words and the phrases, right? Astisamaji, I was under the impression that it was automatically done, maybe using some kind of AI.
Yes, sir.
I think AI चाहिँ त्यसमा काम लाग्यो होला भनेर सम्झिन्थेँ मैले क्या. But now it seems it's not AI. I do not think AI is so advanced.
I don't think so. And just kind of manual process also होला. Just the one होला यो stop गर्नु भनेर.
Difficult हो.
Just the भन्छ नि माइक यो क्यामेरा बन्द गर्नु हैन सम स्टप गर्नु यस्तो होला.
So बादमा त I think सफ्टवेयरमै आउँछ होला त्यो जस्तो लाग्छ. Software. Yes. I don't know whether AI can accommodate that.
एउटा सिम्पल इक्जाम्पल तपाईले फोनबाट भिडियो गर्नु हैन तपाईको भिडियो गर्दै गर्दा तीनटा फेस ट्र्याकिङ गर्छ डिटेक्ट गर्छ फेस समथिङ त्यही एल्गोरिदम नि त्यस्तै एल्गोरिदम युज गर्छ जस्तो लाग्छ फेस डिटेक्सनहरु भयो नि त जस्तो त्यो पनि लाइभै चलिरहेको छ इन्स्ट्यान्टली फेस डिटेक्ट गर्छ इन्स्ट्यान्टली तपाईको टेस्ला कारको पनि भयो नि त इन्स्ट्यान्टली तपाईको ब्लक भयो भने इन्स्ट्यान्टली ब्लक गाडीमा ब्रेक लगाइदिन्छ त्यस्तो खालको एल्गोरिदमहरु छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ
बादमा चाहिँ किनभने आई थिङ्क अब यो त अहिले हाम्रो नेसेन्ट फेज मात्रै हो नि अलिकति एडभान्स हुँदै गएपछि देन पिपल विल स्टप वान्टिङ टु म्यानुअली इन्टरभ्युन होइन देन दे विल वान्ट अटोमेटेड इन्टरभ्युन गर भन्छ देन हाउ आर यु गोइङ टु अचिभ द्याट जस्तो लाग्यो कि अस्ति मलाई सोच्दै गर्दाखेरि नि
सर त्यो आउने कुरा चाहिँ द्याट्स अ ब्याड थिङ टु सेन्ड भन्ने पनि त त्यो एभ्री टाइम त्यो अटोमेट गर्ने म्यानुअली गर्ने थाहा पनि त हुनु पर्यो ल्याङ्ग्वेज ब्यारियर
हुन्छ नि अन्त सो हाउ टु बी है त्यो त बिकज त्यो त अलिक उयो हुन्छ कि जस्तो लाग्छ कि सो मेरो चाहिँ फ्रम द सफ्टवेयर टेक्निकल पोइन्ट अफ भ्यू भोलिको दिनदेखि आज नै नहोला बट भोलिको दिनदेखि त उहाँले सोच्नु थाल्छ नि दे विल से ओके दिस इज अल टेक्निकल सफ्टवेयर रिलेटेड हो दे क्यान डु समथिङ भने चाहिँ देन वाट आर यु गोइङ टु डु क्या
Let's see what Sarvam AI can do for India. Because for all the regional languages also they are doing.
Which one?
Sarvam, there is.
Sarvam, oh, okay, Supreme Court.
Supreme Court. One AI is there. It's not also this all over India को लागि चाहिँ आफ्नो चाहिँ एउटा प्लेटफर्म बनाउँछ AI को. Multi language, मतलब regional language पनि support गर्नको लागि Sarvam.
Last time I was at that meeting.
But it was presented AI summit.
यो चाहिँ AI को मोडल हो. यो चाहिँ multilingual Indian regional language support गर्नुको लागि छ.
For the judiciary part.
Not only for all generic purpose also.
Okay.
So because for language it might be in English, might be in Nepali, might be in Bhutan, might be something. So how we maintain
That is what. That is what.
And again, for that also, present model of ChatGPT cannot understand Bhuti also.
Someone has to train them.
So regional language support को लागि बनाएको छ इन्डिया लेभलमा कति छ. बिस्तारै इम्प्रुभ हुन्छ because एउटा जग्गामा त कोही डिस्ट्रिक्ट हुँदैन इम्प्रुभिङ अब AI मा पनि कति इम्प्रुभमेन्ट आइसक्यो.
Yes, correct.
They are literally replacing some of the jobs actually.
But I do not think the job चाहिँ replace हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्दैन है. AI चाहिँ
Job चाहिँ way of doing styles change हुन्छ because
yes.
My personal experience हामी जब कोडिङ गर्दाखेरि हामी अब निकै AI assistance लिँदैछ अब किनभने it's saving time, it's giving it another way also doing because they take the code from the very best to the best part. त्यही पनि सिकाउँदैछ हामीले. So we are learning actually from AI also nowadays. It's like it is kind of our assistant also.
AI त सर धेरै एडभान्स भइसक्यो जस्तो जुन चाहिँ 2023 देखि AI भिडियो स्टार्ट भयो. त्यो टाइममा चाहिँ सर अब चिनिन्थ्यो AI सम लाइक 1 week ब्याक मैले एउटा भिडियो हेरेको थिएँ मुभी टाइप क्लिप टाइपको थियो 20 seconds. It was completely generated from AI, but
yes, nowadays it is very hard to find out whether it is AI generated image or it is a real image.
भिडियो पनि सर त्यो लेभलमा हुँदैछ
साथै डिस्क्लेमर आउँछ नि है AI मा चाहिँ. But you get AI.
It depends. If it is a paid version, if it is a paid version, there will be no disclaimer.
Mandate गरेको छ.
Mandate गरेको छ.
Right? Because sometimes म पनि त्यो भिडियो हेर्दा AI आउँछ कि देन मेरो नानीले भन्छ यो AI जेनेरेटर हो भन्छ क्या. कस्तो रियल हुन्छ म त हाँस्दै गरेको हुन्छ नि त्यो हेरेर हैन. बट उनीहरूले यो AI जेनेरेटर भन्छ. म त हैन डिस्क्लेमर हुन्छ त मुनि भन्छु कि. हुँदैन
नर्मली त त्यसरी देखाइ दिँदैन बट कोही लेखेको हुन्छ कि युट्युबहरुमा तल नर्मली त रियल हुन्छ त्यस्तो त लेखेको हुन्छ.
It's not mandatory.
It's not mandatory. It's course सर mandate गर्ने कुरा त चल्दै थियो तर
It's very difficult in otherwise, right? Okay. So, Malachi, now what I wanted to talk a little bit about is the second part, land equipment. I know land we have traveled a lot, you know, from cat cables. Now I think we are going to wireless mode, fiber. But will it be limited to fiber and wireless? Is that the ultimate form of land now, or is there something else happening?
Recently, I have no knowledge on that.
So, data transmit गर्ने केही न केही त फर्म चाहिन्छ नि. So that's wireless होला last thing.
I think त्यो चाहिँ ब्रेक लाग्छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई wirelessमा चाहिँ I think that is the ultimate. Beyond that, there is no medium to transmit. It is either solid state or के भन्छ अर्को वेपर के भन्छ एयर स्टेटमा सलिड या अर्को आयो नि त हैन. त्यो दुईटाको बाहेक त इज देयर एनीथिङ एल्स ब्रुइङ?
अब हामीलाई जति सक्दो तपाईको जस्तो अब वाइफाई तपाईँ तल छ भने यहाँको वाइफाई कनेक्सन यहाँ छेउमै हुनु हो. जति सक्दो यो डिस्टेन्सलाई जति बढाउन चाहिँ सक्छ होला कसो के मिन्समा जस्तो तपाईँले स्टारलिङको कुरा त्यो हामी नेट चुङथाङमा पनि एक्सेसिबल हुनुको लागि त्यो डिस्टेन्स त्यसले कभर गर्दैछ त्यो खालको मिन्सहरू आउन सक्छ तर वायरलेस चाहिँ लास्ट उयो जस्तो लाग्छ.
अनि what I normally feel is like त्यो हामीमा चाहिँ घर अफिसमा चाहिँ these days we are working on I've told my boys we are working on त्यो BGA sorry HDMI cable. These days you get HDMI को त्यो wireless model नि है. We find it very fascinating. In fact, यो technical चाहिँ पुरा fascinating. किन भन्दाखेरि कोर्टरुममा जब पस्छ नि तपाईँ if you go to any courtroom, the first thing you will notice is a bunch of cables क्या सबै. अब because we have TVs ऊपर TVs यहाँ लगा अब यहाँ त चिटिक्कै बनाएको रहेछ हो. But we have cables coming out हैन. अनि sometimes त्यो टिभी बिग्रियो भन्छ टिभी बिग्रेको हुँदैन, इट्स द HDMI केबल. So what we do, इन्स्टेन्टेनियसको लागि त्यहाँबाट तानेर लान्छ, then it will be like झुन्डिँदै जान्छ. So we are like fascinated with this HDMI को wireless अहिले चाहिँ.
Wireless, yes.
That is very good. मलाई चाहिँ I find it very good so far as we are using it. अहिलेसम्म चाहिँ 1-1.5 महिना भयो होला चलाएको.
Expensive होला सर अलिकति तर
6,000 rupees per pair रहेछ.
हजुर.
But if it's like 1-to-1 is 6,000 rupees रहेछ. And then we purchased एउटा 4-to-1 किने with transmitter. That is 17,000 रहेछ त्यो चाहिँ. But it saves a lot of trouble जस्तो लाग्यो मलाई.
त्यसमा त डिले त त्यस्तो हुँदैन.
डिले हुँदैन रहेछ. No delay. But the only problem मैले चाहिँ मेरो केटाहरूलाई भनेको, I knew it was the answer त थियो हो, तर पनि मैले यिनीहरूलाई सोधेको नि. अब तपाईको यहाँनिर एउटा हाम्रो त कोर्ट्स छेउ छ नि त हैन. सो एउटा यहाँ लगाए वान सिस्टम यहाँ, नेक्स्ट डोर कोर्ट अर्को सिस्टम लगाए, इन्टरफेरेन्स हुँदैन भनेको दे सेड ओके यु हेभ डिफ्रेन्ट फ्रिक्वेन्सी हुन्छ अरे. बट आई आस्क्ड देम ओके लाइक हामीले कम्पनीबाट वी हेभ डिफ्रेन्ट कम्पनीजको पर्चेस गरे अरे हो. डिफ्रेन्ट पर्चेस त कम्पनी चाहिँ दे विल नट मेन्टेन द फ्रिक्वेन्सी नि त. सो आई आस्क्ड देम ओके देन वाट ह्यापन्स भनेको नि हाउ डु वी कसरी हो, हाउ डु यु स्ट्यान्डर्डाइज कि ओके यसको चाहिँ इन्टरफेरेन्स यहाँ हुनु हुँदैन, यसको इन्टरफेरेन्स यहाँ हुनु हुँदैन, अदरवाइज इट विल बी अ बिग उयो.
I think they have no the separate venue. They'll throw it randomly, but there could be ID with the cable and the TV, right?
Yes, ID त yes, there are IDs.
There is physical ID of the TV.
And I was also asking them कि it might not be useful for you, but you might know because you are in that NIC मा थुप्रो कुरा हुन्छ है. What I was also asking them was, अब यो those transmitters and those receivers can we manage them भनेको नि. It's like can we manage them, like can we change their यो reception को pointहरू भनेको नि हैन. They are not aware of that. I don't know what if you have come across anything like this.
I didn't get it.
Like what I want to say, like for example उहाँले भन्नु हुँदै थियो नि हैन, we have IDs between the transmitter and the receiver. And sometimes we might need to reprogram it. केही भयो भने लाइक हामी त रेडियोमा जाँदाखेरि we go to high frequency or lower frequency, change the frequency level. Is it possible भनेर सोधेको नि उनीहरूलाई. On the face of it यसरी घुमाएर हेर्दा it's not feasible. But I then told them, see, you have managed switches and unmanaged switches, Cisco को. त्यहाँ त we can always do all those customization. यसमा चाहिँ is it possible to customize भनेको नि. Are you aware of something like that?
Wireless line but maybe still use भएको sensor, right?
किनभने why I ask is मेरो पनि why I ask my boys is because I tell them तपाईहरु त you just passed out नि त 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 10 years भयो होला. By the time you came out of college or by the time you're working in a company, these things metropolitan method you might have already encountered such issues, and such issues को resolution पायो भने त you share it was भनेर चाहिँ I asked them के hoping that there was something.
Is it interfering with the other
We are not aware. But what we have done is we have ordered for 5 pieces now, 5 sets. Okay, because there's 5, we have 6 codes. So 6 वटा किन्नु सकेन, we wanted to test for 5 codes पहिला.
But it's the real practical scenario actually we were thinking about it.
So
Signal interference problem.
त्यही त, that is what I'm worried. भरे मैले भनेको यहाँको डिस्प्ले उता then the whole then it will be a big problem भनेको है. मैले पनि केटाले त्यही भन्छ, टेक्निकलले पनि यसो भन्छ कि नहुनु पर्ने छ नि यो, उसको आफ्नो फ्रिक्वेन्सी हुन्छ भनेर हो.
सर जस्तो एउटा रुममा दुईटा राउटर छ, दुईटा आफ्नो वाइफाई छ भने
It may be like that. It may be like that. There should be some interface. For example, when we connect a remote with a smart TV, then that remote should be do something like to make a communication. We have to allow it. So this might be this feature might be there actually when you connected the cable with that particular device. They will add something else to allow to connect this device.
So I think this problem was solved. मलाई मेरो अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङ के लाग्छ जस्तो तपाईले मलाई के ट्रान्समिट गर्नुहुन्छ डेटा ब्लुटुथबाट यहाँ एकजनाले उहाँलाई गर्नुपर्छ. सो त्यसमा इन्टरफेरेन्स त देखिँदैन जस्तो लाग्छ. सो त्यही केसमै चल्छ
एक्सेप्ट चाहिँ गर्नु पर्यो सिङ चाहिँ गर्नु पर्यो
पेयरिङ चाहिँ हुनु पर्यो
पेयरिङ पनि पेयर भइसकेर
भने यो म्यानुफ्याक्चरिङ प्रब्लमै हुन्छ नभए चाहिँ
है एन्ड व्हाट अबाउट ओके अर्को पनि त्यहाँ उनीहरूलाई कुरा गर्दाखेरि बिकज आई डोन्ट हेभ एन आन्सर दिस बोइज दे आर स्टिल थिङ्किङ अफ एन आन्सर कि सो इफ आई क्यान इन्लाइटन माइसेल्फ एन्ड गो भनेको नि सो अर्को कुरा चाहिँ मैले उनीहरूलाई भने कि अब तपाईँको त्यो लाइक द सेम थिङ एचडिएमआईको सिग्नल ट्रान्समिट हुँदैछ होइन हाम्रो फोनमा पनि वी हेभ वाइफाई विथ द कोड्स आर वाइफाई इनेबल्ड होइन एन्ड देन वी हेभ वाइफाई इनेबल्ड प्रिन्टिङ फेसिलिटिज आई थिङ्क त्यो सबैको त सिङ्गिङ त हुनै पऱ्यो पेयरिङ त हुनै पऱ्यो बट विल दे आर यु अवेर अफ एनिथिङ द्याट अफ एनी इस्युज वेन युर
त्यस्तै इस्यु चाहिँ मलाई जतिसक्दो हुँदैन नै जस्तो लाग्छ म्यानुफ्याक्चरिङ डिफेक्ट भयो भने चाहिँ अर्कै कुरा हो
ओभरल्यापिङ हुँदैन सिग्नल
ओभरल्यापिङ
है त्यो चाहिँ मेरो केटाहरूले चाहिँ अस्तिदेखि खोज्दै थियो कि उनीहरूले
त्यो कुरा चाहिँ अझ इन्काउन्टर चाहिँ भएको छैन केही केसमा पनि
अहिले मैले भन्नु बट वी हेभ नट युज इट सो एक्सटेन्सिभली नि त इन द सेम कोड मल्टिपल वेभलेङ्थ्स त वी हेभ अल्सो नट युज इट युटिलाइज गरेको छ अहिलेसम्म त वी वर जस्ट डुइङ वाइफाई वायरलेस नाउ वी आर डुइङ यो एचडिएमआई त्यहाँदेखि मलाई प्रब्लम हुन्छ कि भनेर आई वान्ट टु बी स्योर what my team says because sometimes the team will say something but बाहिरको मान्छेको भ्यू इज भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट त्यस्तो होइन सो आई टेक दिस अपर्च्युनिटी टु आस्क क्या त्यस्तो यस्तो केही छ भने आई टुक दिस अपर्च्युनिटी टु आस्क
प्र्याक्टिकली यस्तो कुरा त प्रायः नै चलिरहेको छ सो प्रब्लम त अहिलेसम्म त्यस्तो
अहिले मैले एआईलाई सोधेँ पनि एआईले पनि $100 दिन्छ होला है दे विल गिभ मी
तपाईँलाई पन्च पनि दिन्छ ब्रस पनि दिन्छ
सो ल्यान्ड गर्दा ओके देन कमिङ ब्याक टु ल्यान्ड अब यो त अब आई हेभ टु टेल यु दिस दो यु माइट नट रिक्वायर इट बट ल्यान्ड चाहिँ वी टेक इट एज कम्युनिकेसन पोट्स होइन बेसिक वर्क अफ अ ल्यान्ड इज कम्युनिकेसन पोट इट इज युटिलाइज टु ट्रान्समिट डेटा कम्युनिकेसन भइहाल्यो कता सकिहाल्यो अहिले दिस डेज वी हेभ वायरलेस ल्यान्ड वायर्ड हुन्छ एन्ड वायरलेस कनेक्सन हुन्छ wired and wireless, they have their own pros and they have their own cons. So far as wireless is concerned and wired is concerned, sometimes I feel like so far as that packet transmission is concerned, wired राम्रो जस्तो लाग्यो मलाई short distance right most reliable चाहिँ मलाई I found it wired though people prefer wireless most of the time but I think wired is much better consistent like तपाईँले भन्नुभएको जस्तो है स्पिड पनि दे मेन्टेन स्पिड रहेछ सो द एभ्री वान इज रनिङ टुवर्ड्स वायरलेसमा कुदिरहेको छ बट टु सम पोइन्ट आई लाइक इफ आई निड एक्सेस टु माई सर्भर म त आई वुड प्रिफर वायर्ड मेरोमा ल्यान्ड केबलिङ र आयो पोर्टबाटै आई प्रिफर द्याट
जस्तो तपाईँले यहाँदेखि तल्लो ब्लकमा सेन्ड हुन्छ डेटा एउटा तपाईँले यहाँबाट वायरलेसबाट तपाईँले त्यहाँबाट कहीँ सर्भर गर्नुहुन्छ त्यो सर्भरमा तलबाट उयो गरेर एक्सेस गरेर उसले लिनु भयो त्यो वायरलेसमा डाइरेक्टै गइन्छ लास्टमा त यसको पनि काम वायरबाटै भयो सो वायर इज फार मोर उयो जस्तो लाग्छ
वायर त राम्रो हुन्छ देयर इज नो डाउट अबाउट इट वायर चाहिँ कतिवटा कुरा वायरलेस छ कन्भिनियन्ट लाग्छ मलाई भेरी कन्भिनियन्ट टु सेट इट अप तर वायर चाहिँ
वायरलेसको चाहिँ त्यही अब जब ह्याकिङ सिकिङ अरूको डाउट चाहिँ बेसी हुँदो रहेछ
यस करेक्ट
बेसी के हो सबैबाट सिग्नल गइरहेको हुन्छ मिडलम्यानहरू हुनसक्छ उहाँ ट्याप गर्नुको लागि जुन एक्सपर्ट ह्याकरहरू हुन्छ उनीहरूले पाउन सक्छ भनेर वायरले जान्दाखेरि चाहिँ अलिकति अडियन्स कम्ती भयो नि अब त एक्सेस गर्नुको लागि
टनलै भइहाल्छ नि समथिङ लाइक अ टनल फिजिकल टनलिङ है अर्को कुरा चाहिँ आई एम अलवेज वरिड अबाउट दिस मेरो आई आस्क माई स्टाफलाई पनि सोधिरहन्छु क्या विथ अल दिस वायरलेस थिङ्स गोइङ अराउन्ड इन द कोड इज इट अ हेल्थ हेजर्ड तपाईँहरूलाई वाट यु त्यो वायर्ड बिकज अस्ति इफ यु रिमेम्बर है 5G पढ्दै थियो 5Gले कुनै के गर्छ
साइट हुनु चाहिँ हुनसक्छ बट वाट टु डु हाम्रो साइड जिउ पनि त्यसरी ट्रेन भइबसेको हुन्छ जेनेरेसनलाई बिस्तारै बिस्तारै हुनु चाहिँ हुन्छ होला
हुन्छ होला जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई पनि है बिकज अस्ति चाहिँ मैले आई वाज रिडिङ एउटा हाम्रो अल दिस मोलिक्युल्सहरू चाहिँ सबै भाइब्रेसन हो भन्छ नि होइन
हजुर
त्यो त उहाँलाई याद छ होला अल भाइब्रेसन भन्छ एभ्रिथिङ इज भाइब्रेसन सो देन आई वाज ट्राइङ टु थिङ्क द्याट अब इफ देयर इज अ भाइब्रेसन देयर इज अ फ्रिक्वेन्सी होइन अन्त when you talk about wireless then it is all frequency then I thought like maybe त्यो जुन चाहिँ वायरलेसमा हामी वी आर जम्पिङ टुवर्ड्स वायरलेस आर वी हार्मिङ आवरसेल्फ जस्तो पनि लाग्यो कतिवटा एन्ड आई एम नट इन अ पोजिसन टु से नो अर नो यस किनभने आई थिङ्क द रिजल्ट विल ओन्ली बी आफ्टर वी आर गन होइन द जिन्समा पनि त जान्छ नि त इट विल हामीले त देख्दैन यो
to know it actually takes time actually understand
या सो आई क्यान्ट आन्सर यस पनि सक्दैन नो पनि भन्नु पर्दैन बट आई क्यानट से नो बिकज आई थिङ्क जहाँ पनि इन्टरफेरेन्स भयो भने त
अलिक निकै निकै
हुन्छै हुन्छ नि दे विल बी समथिङ है
लाइक मेबी हाइपरटेन्सनहरू हुनसक्छ ब्रेनहरू है ब्लड प्रेसर
हाइपरटेन्सन त छोटा बात होइन जेनेटिकली मोडिफाई भयो होइन सो त्यो द्याट इज अ वान इस्यु द्याट आई फेस यो आई कान्ट टेल दिस अफिसमा बिकज आई एम पुसिङ फर वायरलेस एन्ड आई कान्ट से लाइक तपाईँको त क्रोमोजोम बिगारिदिन्छ नि यसले भनेर होइन बिकज आई डोन्ट ह्याभ छैन नि त मेरो ब्याकअप छैन नि त भन्नु सक्दैन नि होइन बिगार्नु पनि नसक्ला बिगार्नु पनि सक्ला आई क्यानट बी प्यारानोइड होइन सो आई डोन्ट नट नो इफ यु हेभ एनिथिङ अबाउट द्याट
एक्चुअली मोबाइल सेटमा पनि एउटा फ्रिक्वेन्सी मतलब सेट गर्नु एउटा स्ट्यान्डर्ड हुँदो रहेछ कतिको मुनिको हुनु पऱ्यो माथिको हुनु पऱ्यो जुन चाहिँ मतलब ब्रेनमा या कानमा इफेक्ट गर्दैन लाइक त्यस्तै उनीहरूले त सेफ फ्रिक्वेन्सी युज गर्दैछ होला त्यो पनि हुनसक्छ पहिला रिसर्च गरिसकेर एउटा सेफ फ्रिक्वेन्सी युज गर्दैछ
इन्डस्ट्रीमा त त्यही छ सर एभ्रिथिङ इज जे पनि त भाइब्रेसनमै त्यहाँ पनि त तपाईँको केसिटी स्क्यान गर्दा त्यो पनि भाइब्रेसन रिलेटेड छ एमआरआई त्यो पनि इन्फ्रारेड एक्सपोजर हुन्छ
Similarly, so dangerous.
So they say only one X-ray in 2 or 3 years, right? But I mean the every day X-ray.
That
is dangerous. So I mean I think त्यो part पनि we have to be aware, होइन health part पनि त aware हुनुपर्छ what is happening. Though it is nothing to be, I do not think that mom they want it nothing to be paranoid about. But we have to be aware. We can't be pushing anything that comes. We have to see, we have to see once, at least read. यसको के रहेछ कसो रहेछ बिकज सानो सानो देखे हुन्छ नि पर्मिसिबल फ्रिक्वेन्सी लेखेको हुन्छ बट आई टेल देम पर्मिसिबल चाहिँ कसले लेखेको भनेर नि द कम्पनी इज राइटिङ पर्मिसिबल बिकज उनीहरूको त्यो फ्रिक्वेन्सी द लोएस्ट इज द्याट होइन सम पर्सन माइट हेभ अ डिफ्रेन्ट आइडिया अफ पर्मिसिबल सो एज फार एज पोसिबल वी हेभ टु बी अवेर of everything. So finally, what I would
frequency to attack गर्छ त थाहै छ हामी मोबाइलहरुले पनि सधैँ टोको दुख्छ कानहरु दुख्छ बेसी दाइ मोबाइल चलाए
हो नि यस करेक्ट
एट्याक टु गर्छ अब डिपेन्ड गर्छ अब हामी कति एक्सप्रेस
but how do you offset that पनि चाहिन्छ नि है offset चाहिँ कसरी गर्छ like all those issues that we have because of technology technically offset कसरी गर्छ how do you normalize पनि त कुरा आउँछ नि त I do not know how you do that. Some people might do meditation garcha hai yoga garcha detox garcha
physical exercise
apart from तपाईको यो वायरलेस को फ्रिक्वेन्सी चाहिँ भने सबै कुरामा त सर्भेस छ जस्तो लाइट पनि भयो यो पनि त नेचुरल होइन यसले पनि त हामीले संसारको
डेली एक्सपोज हुँदैन नि हामी पनि
कम्प्युटरमा बस्नै पर्छ सर अगाडि अब त्यसले हामीलाई टाउको दुखाइरहेको छ आँखा पनि बिगाइरहेको छ
हो नि त
हेर्नु पर्छ सर हामीले सबै नै एभोइड गर्नु पर्यो
यति नसा पनि हुन सक्दैन
बाली खन्न जानु पर्यो नि है बट नो अब ठिकै छ अब दोज आर लाइक आई थिंक के भन्छ
वो ब्रेक्स आर अल्सो निडेड लाइक तपाईले भन्नु नि बाली खन्न जानु पर्यो कहीँ बस्नु पर्यो जस्ट ब्रेक्स आर अल्सो निडेड तर यो पार्ट्स एन्ड पार्सल अफ लाइफ खाल्दै
नेसेसरी ह्याजर्ड भन्छ हैन वर्क प्लेस ह्याजर्ड भन्छ है वर्क प्लेस ह्याजर्ड भन्छ नि त्यो त अब यु कान्ट help it because we are all rushing towards technology and to be enabled we have to face all these things but no one is sure what is right and what is wrong the amount what level what amount is wrong what amount is healthy or unhealthy no one knows that So you have to be balancing in life. You know? What I would like to say is you have to be balancing in life. And the other thing I was also reading is like with the I think all the spiritual books have this thing. You know, I am a Christian. Bible ma cha. You might be some other religion, Buddhist, Hinduism. सबैमा छ त्यो. And सबै टेक्स्टमा I have read, I have heard that they always ask us to speak good. You know, speak good about yourself and अरूलाई. When you speak ill about someone else, you have to be very careful. Required to have good thoughts for ourselves and for others as far as possible. कतिजना त beyond good thoughts also. That is different. But as far as possible, we should have good thoughts. Because the words carry energy. You know, this is nothing religious. It is just scientific. Words carry energy. If you say good things about other people, the words that come out of our mouth, they have the frequency, energy. It will do good for us and it will do good for other people. In the end, we have to always realize and understand that we do work. God is very important. Our residence, the kind of relation that we share is very important. So you have to maintain a balance, you have to strike a balance between work and life. And when you work, you should always work in such a way that you make things easy for your friends, for the less educated people around us. I'm not saying less educated, illiterate, less educated in our field. You know? I am talking about technical because it is a technical training, a technical manpower training. No? So why I am saying this is because technology, it is a very specialized subject, and the things that technical managers learn, it's different how you learn. And the non-technical background to grasp technical things as fast as some of us grasp is quite difficult for them. You can't expect one line of explanation to be understood by them. Between technical, the one line of explanation that you will understand, the whole line will understand. But non-technical, the same one, it is very difficult for them to understand. So we have to see how we are explaining things to them. Because in the end, there is nothing. फुर्के भएर केही पनि हुने होइन. तपाईले लास्टमा उयो हुन्छ, काम गर्नुपर्छ. You have to work for yourself, and how you work and how you make yourself better is if you can make a cordial environment around you. That's how you do everything. So my parting words for you would be, whenever you work, you please make sure that you work for the betterment of the society, for the environment. So far as now we are concerned, our society would be the institution that is hiring us, that has hired us. It is our responsibility to give the best. Whatever we have, we should give the best. And we have to work in such a way that we should try and do something new for the institution, something which will make them remember us, saying, oh, okay, they did so many things, they suggested such and such things. And then when I talk about documentation, that new things that you are doing, make documentation. What I do is, HCS ma kehi problem hundecha bhane, I write it down on my diary, so that mero next in line kasile aayo bhane, if they are still using the same CS, they can read me, त्यति बेला यस्तो भएको रहेछ, maybe this is the issue. Or what I do is, मेरो calendar ma I mark everything. So the one who comes after me, if calendar यसो पल्टायो भने, because very important, they will say, VC कहिले start भयो, यो solar power कहिले start भयो, they will ask. So if I mark it on my calendar, at least the one who comes after me, they will see, hey, यहाँ यस्तो यस्तो भएको. It will be easy for them. So what are you doing is, you're trying to make someone else's life easy. You don't want, if you arrive at something in a mess, and you sort the mess out, you don't go out and leave the mess, you leave it sorted out. So then what happens is the junior one comes up behind you, he or she will be easy, it will be easier for them to work. And in a way, when they work and when they find out that you have done something good, easy, you have made their work easy, they will thank you. They might not come to your face and say thank you, तपाईँले यस्तो गर्यो, मलाई यस्तो भयो, but in their mind they will say, oh, he was a good person, he did this. यति गरेर चाहिँ at least now I am in line भन्छ नि. So in the end, what is there? I mean, that's what we want. Goodwill chahiyo, we want health, in the end we want health and goodwill. Because please keep in mind that after people मान्छे रिटायर हुने बित्तिकै, till working, while you are working you are healthy हुन्छ, रिटायर हुने बित्तिकै बिमार हुन्छ नि त. So that is, no one wants that. We all want to retire gracefully and live for as long as we can with a good health. And that is, I think, how you achieve that is how you live your environment. तपाईँको, your friends, your family, your co-workers, the relation that you share. If you are in a toxic relation in your office, it will be toxic when you go home. Your health will deteriorate. Like no problem. Okay, so how we do, how we coordinate, how we cooperate with our fellow officers and staff, that is very important. Why I tell technical all the time, I mirror technical, I tell this because it's very difficult for another layman to understand technical terms. It's very difficult for them to follow simple things that we say. Very difficult for them to do what we do. हामीले 1 minute मा गर्ने काम उहाँलाई टाइम लाग्छ. Very difficult for them to adopt wireless technology, video conferencing, के भन्छ यो maintenance कामहरु गर्ने, hardware troubleshooting, so it's very difficult for them. They will not understand it. It is our job to make their life easy, and you can't expect them to answer to our queries in a technical term. So technicalizing, I always tell my technical team, we have to think in both ways, on their point of view, in their point of view and our point of view. Or we have to be, के भन्छ त्यसलाई, not quoting, माया गरेर हेर्छ भन्छ नि, के भन्छ word? Loving त फेरि साह्रै होला नि. Lovingly त हेर्नु भएन कि, we have to, हजुर, philanthropic, empathy भनेको चाहिँ, you know the meaning of empathy? Okay. Sympathy हैन, not with sympathy, but we have to look at them with empathy, that is, you look at their problem from their point of view, only then you will understand. And when you do that, you will have goodwill, तर राम्रो हुन्छ, your life will be good, your career will be good, your family will be good, healthy हुन्छ. I think, can we stop now, madam, or lunch is ready? So thank you very much for your presence. Thank you for coming. It was not a technical session today. I just wanted to ask certain things. I just wanted to talk about the best practices. I just wanted to know, just wanted to inform you and remind you again of the reason that we are all here. Because why the E-Committee is spending so much money, why the Honorable High Court, why the Honorable Sovereign Court, they have employed us, and what is our job, what we are required to do, and what we are required to leave behind and go. Okay. With this, I wish you all the best in your life. Okay. Take care and have a good time. And I give that podium to SG again.